Are you
Ready?
ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
So, you remember? Oh, okay. But you composed the intro song last time. Don't you remember it?
Yeah, but I changed it. That's a great composer. What he can do is change a song and make it sound much more millennial. Just because, listen, we need to target the youngsters who are listening. Listen up to this, guys. This is the new theme song. It goes like this. Sing with me if you know the lyrics. It goes like this. Wait, it's a couple more measures. 3, 8, Bogi Stefcho, Bogi Stefcho. Hey, who? Bogi Stefcho. And who? I said it. It was Bogi and Stefcho. Bogi Stefcho. And it just goes like this. So it doesn't matter. But hey, guys, we're here. We're back, and this is Bogi plus Stefcho equals podcast.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, guys. So I'm pumped. Stefcho, I'm pumped. I'm pumped not just because I was in the gym, especially not because of that, but because this is going to be a great show. We have a great show for you tonight.
Yeah, don't say
or
that.
if you watch this in the morning,
Usually
I don't give a fuck. But
it's going to be bad.
No, it's going to be great. And stop with those superstitions. And by the way, leave the salt down. Put the salt down. So this is going to be a great show. Why? Because number one, we are great, but just in case, because also we have a great guest. And check this out, no offense to my neighbors, but this is gonna be, spoiler alert, a real guest. And we're gonna keep it a secret guest. Hey, secret guest.
Yeah, he's out for a cigarette right now.
Oh, he's super secretive. He sneaked out, he was so good. Well, we're gonna keep him a secret, so you guys you have to stick around to find out who he is, but trust me, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He may be better than both of us taken together, but then multiplied by 3 of us. So he's like 2 times 3. And so this is pretty like 6 or something,
6.
at least like 6.
So what's
and if you you know how it's good if you hear him loudly exhaling through his nose. If I say something inappropriate, then we're probably doing a good job. Yeah. All right. Anyway, how have you been, Stefcho? What's up with you, man?
Nothing much.
Okay, my turn.
No, I have something to say actually. I just,
go ahead.
You know what I did with I did something to my car. It's amazing.
What's that?
I polished my
You
lights.
learned to drive?
No, I polished my headlights.
You polished your headlights?
Yeah, it cost like...
And you just discovered that amazing option.
Yeah.
You didn't know it was possible. You thought,
no, I
headlights.
Knew, but I haven't done it before.
Right.
And,
and you were surprised why you would head for home but end up in a tree in the middle of the night. And you go, oh, maybe I should do something about it.
Actually,
and then,
it was something like that. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was yesterday. It was a cathartic
Well,
moment.
listen, man, this is the beginning of a new era. Yeah. And now Sofia at night will be a safer city, thanks to you. You're like Batman. You're pretty much like Batman. Imagine what happened when he discovered that he can, I don't know what he discovered. Imagine when he discovered like he can use imagine what would happen. Okay, let me fucking try this 7 times until it works. Imagine what would happen if he figured out you can actually use guns and it's okay because everyone else uses them, and he would start shooting people in the heads. That would be a safe Gotham. Fucking sees the Joker, shoot him in the head.
He already
you
did
fucking
that
idiot.
in the new retarded movie.
Right. Well, that's why it sucks.
Anyway, so Pavel is here, so he can say hi now.
Well, thanks for really ruining the surprise. But yeah, this. Hey man, hey Pavel, what's up, man?
Hey man, hi. Actually, really nice talking to you, because I have been friends with your dog on Facebook for like a year, and today is the first time I talked to you. So that's fucking nice.
First of all, my dog is not yet 18, so I'm very concerned. I don't approve of this, and I'd like you to end your relationship with my dog. I'm very concerned.
It's all platonic, I swear.
Okay. All right, I trust.
I'm really into goats.
Listen, man, as long as you let him hump you too, that's fine. Now the point is, well, listen, you're here obviously because you're the best, but also because you know what? Let's bring you into the fucking podcast. I think it's been whatever, like at least 40 minutes now. It feels like it at least. So let's bring you in, and then we can talk. We can have you in all of our discussions, because I thought we would have some secret discussions with Stefcho first. But now you can discuss them with us as well. So Pavka, first of all,
sure.
well, who are you, man? Like, who are you? What are you at all?
Okay, so about the obvious, being friends with dogs and the other stuff I said, I'm Stefcho's friend. We actually play in a band together.
No shit.
We kind of suck, but it's not all bad. Like.
And you play what?
I play the bass.
So you must love Seinfeld. Yeah, this is my impression of the Seinfeld team.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met him. So, we went to some metal festival, and yeah, they're like more than a year ago. Anyway.
So you guys, and let's tell for the fans the name of the band.
It's not yet decided.
Exactly. I just wanted to put you on the spot and make fun of you. So you guys don't have a name for the band. Now. I will name it right now, yes. But only after this commercial break. No, this is too long of a break. This is for the long. Okay, this is another break. Hey guys, what are you doing on the weekend? I have no idea. How about shoplifting? No, that's stupid. I'd like to learn and get a degree. Well, go to university.com. It's free. Also, you could never find a job with it, but hey, if you want it free, there you go. Okay, so you guys have a band. It doesn't have a name, and you guys are awesome. And Pavka, you play the bass. So in other words, you have pretty big shoes to fill, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but there used to be another band. There used to be an ex-band, okay? And there used to be an ex-bass player. And this ex-bass player, I happen to know him. He was known as Chilean. And he has, so you have pretty big shoes to fill and pretty small trousers to fill.
Yeah, actually, I know him. His shoes didn't really fit me, but I'll try.
Yeah, try it. And so how do you feel about this pressure? Because obviously you got to follow up a tough act. We're talking about Soft Boys, guys. We're talking about, if whoever is not familiar with the history of the cinematic universe we have here, we used to have another show before called Bogi Stefcho. That show was sometimes doing live shows, and on the live show, Stefcho was the band leader for a band called Soft Boys, where Chilean was on the bass. And now the successor of Soft Boys is your currently unnamed band. But it wasn't until Soft Boys really made their break and huge success that this allowed Stefcho to have this passion project on the side with your unnamed band.
Yeah, we can't name ourselves Soft Boys again.
Actually, I'm quite a fan of Soft Boys. I mean, I've listened to like one song.
Yeah, so you've listened to about 60% of the songs. And but by the way, have you ever been to any of the shows?
Oh yeah, not with the band, but I've been to a show of yours. Actually, Bobby was talking about robots and artificial intelligence.
Yeah, Bobby's our drummer. I mean, the Soft Boys drummer and our drummer now. So yeah.
Wow, what a coincidence!
It was a really good show.
Of all the people in the world.
Well, thanks, man.
Idiots. Speaking.
So, but what's the connection between like AI and why did you mention AI in the context of my show?
I know that's what I wanted to remind you maybe of the show, because I don't know if you've done any of the skits more than once. So if I mentioned a skit, it probably wouldn't make sense to you. Which show was that on? Right.
Yeah. So I've done AI a couple of times. I've talked about shit like this. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I try not to think about the past and my failures from the past. So anyway, listen, man, this is very exciting because it's a bunch of musicians. We have so much talent here. We can probably fill a seat in a classroom with our talent. And so and we have, and this is an interesting thing, because you have this interest of music, but it's not everything. It's not everything, because I heard also that you are interested in politics, and specifically about the Middle East. Is one of the topics that you're interested in. Is that the case?
Oh yeah, that's right.
But then let's leave that for later. We have to address
All right.
something from the last episode.
I just want.
Let's address it.
I just want
Yeah,
to
go
say
ahead.
that a good name for our band as a succession to Soft Boys would be Sad Boys, and it would
No, but
reflect
isn't it?
Yeah,
taken?
doesn't make sense, but it's cool. I mean,
Or was it Suicide Boys? Anyway, the thing is, so we had some comments. There are many of them, but we can maybe address some of them.
oh yeah, right. Go ahead, read some comments.
So one of them, it's some girl that
forgot about
apparently
this.
maybe someone's
What's her
fake
name?
account.
Yeah, most probably. This is probably Chilean, just
I
jealous.
think she
just
really
Chilean
liked
being-
the nipple talk, and
yeah.
actually I was wrong then.
Listen, just
no.
for her, listen to this.
No, I have to fix.
This is my nipple rubbing against the mic. Just
No, I
for
have
you-
to
for
fix
you.
something that I said then.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for guys, it's 1 in 18. The odds of you having a third nipple. So us
So that's
both,
not 18%,
yes,
but it's
that's
what?
1 in 18. That's not 18%. I got it wrong.
How many percent
so
is
the
that?
thing is, the odds of us having 3 nipples,
Yeah.
I mean 2 best friends,
Mhm.
it's like 0.3%.
No shit.
Yeah.
So do you understand what that means? It's more likely that we're not best friends. That's what you said. Because the odds for two best friends to have it is very low. So it's most probably we're not friends. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay,
Okay, no, I have to say something else. So there is,
Go ahead.
you know who else has a third nipple?
Mm.
One of the guys from One Direction.
Well, I knew that, of
Harry
course.
Styles. So,
Because I base my strategies around him.
and that was it. That was
Yeah.
the second part of the nipple talk.
Yeah.
Just for
Any other comments we gotta...
Yes, one
because,
guy
Yep.
said something really nice, then he said something really bad. He
Yeah,
said
what
that
was it?
we're trying too hard. What does it mean?
I don't know, man. I mean,
What do we say? to
I've
this?
heard that in a sexual context, and I always thought like it was a good thing. Like you're trying to, it's hard, baby. And I go, yeah. I mean, this. Is what but in this sense, I don't know what he means, man. Because I always try too hard. And this is an interesting thing. What is too hard? Like, don't you want people to try too hard?
But should we
Or
just
people?
try hard? Maybe not.
Yeah, he
that
wants us just to try hard or try medium rare hard. Like, you know, when you make a fist and then you turn it upside down and there's the squishy part
You know,
between your fingers.
You know what
It's
I
not
think
very
is
hard.
The reason that's, yeah. I think
Yeah.
maybe we can
What
talk
is it?
about this. I think it's.
About what?
I mean, I think he's Bulgarian, and a lot of Bulgarians they don't like people speaking in English. I've seen that in your fan base, the Bulgarian one.
Oh, yeah,
They
I've
always
seen
say,
it
I
a lot.
loved it, but I mean, when
Especially the people who don't
English,
speak
it's
it.
so
Yeah. It's a common issue with people who don't speak the language.
No, it's not about not speaking it. It's about this patriotic feeling that it's like you're a
Yeah.
traitor.
No, listen, I don't even think it's a traitor thing because I understand it because they think it's maybe pretentious.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's not just... okay, this is actually a very good point because I don't think I've ever talked about this. So, and you know this, so there's a couple of things. Number one, of course, it's our trying too hard. Because, listen, when I wake up in the morning, I don't think, how am I gonna, go to work today and survive? No, I'm thinking how to rule the fucking world. I'm reading Mein Kampf for breakfast. I'm fucking, looking at my photo of Trump on the wall, kissing him goodnight every night. I really dream big. I try too hard to dream big. So I speak English because I know I'm out there right now. I'm out there, one of the Joe Rogans out there. You know what I mean? It's me and him and a bunch of other guys, but it's, it's between me and him pretty much the competition at the moment. So that's reason number one. And I don't think it's bad. It's good. You gotta be fucking, it's good to be crazy, because this is, because here's the thing. Crazy people are not always genius, but genius people a lot of times are crazy. So, and they have a lot of nipples too, which is a crazy thing. And then the second thing, which is actually the real, one of the more real reasons is, this, for some fucking reason, I've always been very comfortable with speaking English with my friends and in my private time when I talk to myself, which is 90% of the time. You know this because you know me for many years and you know how I write to you or how I talk to you. I talk to you the same way when we're off the air, the way we talk right now. And sometimes when we're outside, like if I'm in Bulgaria, I don't do it obviously because people would look at me and be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But it's very specific with my comedy in particular because all of the comedy that I listen to is American or, the majority of it. And the way my mind is wired around it is such that I write my jokes in English. And most of the time, even in my Bulgarian shows, I had to rewrite them. So now for me, it's great.
There's another thing because usually, I mean, that's kind of a Bulgarian thing. When Bulgarians, they talk in English, they have terrible, horrible accent that really irritates me too.
Right. So they must think that I'm really trying hard.
Maybe I have this one, but you don't have it, so I don't.
Exactly. So the thing is, I'm not really pretending right now. People, if you think that my real accent is like this, it's really not. I mean, I just at some point I learned to speak this way, and I think it's mostly because I'm bilingual. By default, like my mom was Polish, my dad was Bulgarian. I learned both languages simultaneously, so I can pick up languages easier and imitate. I'm like a shape-shifting alien, really. And
well, I'm also
and the
bilingual,
nipple,
but still it didn't help me that much.
So I think this is my theory, at least, for why I'm good at emulating accents. But this is more than emulation. This is really like the way I hear my inner voice. I'm not trying too hard, at least with the way I speak. I might be trying too hard to be funny or trying too hard to be smart, but not.
Why do you think that's what's up? I mean, why do you think this happened? Because you watched a lot of movies, or?
At some point, it happened in high school. I must have been like 14 or 15 years old when I decided to talk to myself in English, to force myself to for my thoughts to be in English. That's a very interesting process. For example, catch yourself next time you're counting something. Like, let's say you're counting your fingers, you're counting something like 1, 2, 3, 4. The language that you do this in is usually like the language you're most comfortable with, right? Because you learn counting as a kid. It's like very natural. I started from this. I started forcing myself to count in English, to think to myself in English. I would catch myself, be like, shit, I'm thinking in Bulgarian again. Let me switch, right? So eventually it became second nature to me. It took a while, but it became second nature. And once it does, even if you have a very small vocabulary, which I did at the beginning before I read books and stuff in English, you can use the very few words that you have in a very good way because you're constantly forcing yourself to play around with them. So your mind adjusts. So you can have like 200 words, but you still sound good, right? The problem is if you think Bulgarian and then those 200 words you try to translate them. And this is when you sound weird. And this is when foreigners, sound worse than, local people. I mean, of course you can tell that this is not my native tongue. I probably have a lot of telltale signs, but I'm trying, I've tried for many years to the point where now it's like, it's natural. And plus, now in Malta, I speak English every day. So this is like, this is me at the moment.
Okay.
That was intense. I started sweating. My nipples started sweating.
Your third nipple did it sweat. Anyway, I remember you were so insane in high school, like you were forcing these weird things. You remember you forced yourself to learn to what is this, a commercial? Okay, I'll wait.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I just wanted to avoid those sensitive topics. No, go ahead.
No, it's... Yeah, don't worry, I learned from last time. No, the thing is, I remember you were trying to force yourself to learn to type with the left hand, to write, because you...
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you were,
don't mind my tears.
You wanted to like be prepared if you get stranded in the desert or something and you have your right arm cut off, so you had to be prepared for this.
Well, in all honesty, I think this was George you're talking about. It wasn't, but I did the same thing. But yeah, I think the reason was I did it first, and then he started doing it, and then he said because I would be stranded or some shit. So I was like, I did it. I started first because it was just an interesting exercise for me. I was like, well, it's a new skill. You're kind of learning a new skill, and I gotta tell you, maybe
I had this moment. I've heard of this before, where your memories kind of get intersected between each other, and you're sure about something, but it's kind of a mixture anyway.
Yeah.
So what were you saying?
And I gotta tell you, like with the stuff that like happens with my dad now, and I haven't talked about this, but like, he has some, he was diagnosed with dementia, and it's a degenerative disorder, like like Alzheimer's and stuff like that. So the problem with those diseases is we don't know really what causes them, but we know for sure that certain things may help prevent that from happening, and we know that.
Wait, did you know that then?
No. But I'm saying now, looking back at it, I think this is a very interesting thing because think about it. When we're kids, I mean, no one has dementia as a kid, and we think, yeah, that's natural because when you get old, your brain gets older and whatever. But think about it, like we spend a considerable amount of time learning when you're kids until like you finish whatever high school or university or whatever, and then you stop. And why? I mean, you should always learn something. Like new skills are always cool. Like I've got this keyboard. I should start learning to play it. I don't, but I should.
How old are you now?
28.
So let's talk again when you're 38. Maybe you'll change your mind.
Right.
Because I can see myself
if I can talk still then, because I might be like.
No, I mean I agree with you, but I can see myself starting to disagree. I also think you should always learn new things, but it's kind of.
But you should be aware of the fact that it is also not just fun, but it's very useful in that sense, because it kind of it teaches your brain to rewire and make these new connections and really exercises parts of your brain that you don't normally use.
Of getting old, so we don't
because you know, once you get to a position when you're comfortable in life, and we talk about this a lot, like in our private conversations, which are once every 3 months, but we talk about the fact that people get comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, you see these people, they get to a certain position, they have a job, and they go, well, that's it. You know, I'm not gonna get fired. I'm good. It's all good. I have family. I'm fine. And from that moment on, it's like you're just repeating. You know, you're constantly in a certain sort of loop and a routine. And so if you don't learn new stuff, you might get like a fucking stupid person eventually. You're gonna get like an idiot. You're gonna get conservative. You're gonna get, you know, limited in your capacity to understand new ideas. And eventually you're gonna fucking die.
Do we not get families or what?
No, of course not. But just
as time. I mean, if you have a job and a family, what do you think you'll have time for?
Well, listen, man, it doesn't matter. You have those kids. Listen, there's those daycare centers. You put them there. You're like, daddy's gonna go fucking learn to hula hop now, because he never did it as a kid, and it was a pretty cool thing. And daddy's sorry, and now daddy's cheating on your mom because of that, because he has issues. So daddy's gonna go do the hula hop. You fucking
no, I mean,
bitch.
my point is that it looks, we have our point of view, which might change when we get there.
Yeah, that's true, but also in Bogi's defense, I think it really makes sense to.
And thank you for that defense. I needed it.
Yeah. So basically.
Yeah, that's enough. You can just say in Bogi's defense and just end it there.
Yeah, no, we need to learn new things, because imagine like when you're 10 years old, 10 years are like 100% of your life, and then when you're 20 years old, 10 years are 50% of your life. And it all goes on. And essentially, when you're really young, you're learning stuff like walking, speaking, writing. Any shit it's just a new experience for you. So at the time, you know, kind of your life has a slower pace, maybe, let's say it, because you're constantly experiencing new things. But once you get into the routine, everything is the same. So actually it's pretty good to, you know, break it up with new experiences and acquiring new skills and such, because this, when you look back, like let's say you're 80 years old and you look back at it, you would have like a lot of memories from doing.
No, I agree with this. I just don't agree that
like,
because we have
the wife.
Yeah. So, no, I of course I agree with this, but I don't think that we'll have that much time once we get to the place where the people that don't have time.
Well, I think this is a misconception. I think this is, first of all, in my experience, things get more and more complicated as you go along. Like, you keep adding stuff and you rarely remove stuff. And it's not the solution is not to remove or to stop adding, but you become more optimized at doing things, and you start seeing with experience the things that really matter. And sometimes you might put like what you're saying is you might put your family first, and which is of course it's something a loser like you would do. I would never do this. I would always look at me, and this is why I'll achieve success.
Remember,
one day.
We had this talk.
I would just use my kids.
No,
I will use my kids for my success.
That's really interesting. We had this talk 2 years ago in Brooklyn.
I remember, yeah.
And we had the opposite positions. Do you remember this?
No, I'm kidding. But I wasn't kidding then. That's the difference. No, I think I would be a kind of family man. So I think I'd probably be a victim of this rather than be a challenger of the status quo in this sense. But we'll see. Well, maybe I'll never have kids.
The truth is the balance. You can't be like a just family guy or just constantly experiencing new things.
Yeah,
you have to find the middle, like never settle, completely settle.
What I was trying to say is that it's important to just mix it up with other stuff, and it helps your brain, it helps your everything.
Yeah. No, it's true, and I stopped listening. When you start talking, I just stopped listening. Or something. But the point was, this is a very nice thing, and let's change the subject. So what I was thinking is, I sent you today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I was going to get a beer, so if you want to talk some shit about me, now is the time.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
So what do you hate the most about Stefcho? Pavka? Tell me the truth now.
So what I hate most about Stefcho? Well, okay, you can serenade me.
What's that?
I said it's fine. You can serenade me.
Yeah. No, it's just to make you sad. So you, you bring up the worst.
So the worst is probably him going to swing dance classes.
Oh! Oh my god. Okay, I'm glad that you said it because I didn't have the courage to say it.
Yeah, I actually feel like it would be like just to clarify, I'm really fine with all sorts of people. But I'm just saying that I feel that if you participate in an orgy with 3 other men, it's less gay than going through.
Yeah. Listen, no, I'll agree in one sense because I think before you said the orgy part, you started talking about the people, and I was thinking that you were gonna say that you don't hate so much the idea of the dances, but the kind of people that go there. Because here's a surprise for you: I did go to this shit too. And I wasn't happy from day one, and I did it for 6 fucking months. And okay, so let's talk about this because I think we keep postponing this, but it's a nice topic because Stefcho is into it. I've had some experience. Pavkata, of course, is right that it sucks. And so let's let's talk about this. Now I'll talk about my experience, and then you, Stefcho, you tell me why I'm wrong. But I'll tell you what I think. So my story is this: I was dating this person at the time, this girl, and she was like she wanted to go to dance classes, and she had a very weird way of putting it because it was basically like she said I want to go to dance this, and I said, well, sure, baby, or whatever you want. And then she would start crying, and I was like, what? What the fuck? And she was like, well, I want you to go with me, obviously, silly. And so I would have to basically like babysit her and go there. So we ended up going there, and I gotta tell you, a couple years ago when we started, it was maybe not the peak, but it was just right after like a real peak of this thing, where it was like a wave of people our age going in and dressing like hipsters with their fucking weird ass hats and their you know, fucking stripes and old time pants, and just basically robbing their grandparents from their fucking closets and wearing their clothes. And this is what I didn't like more than the actual activity. I didn't like the fact that there were a lot of pretentious people there. This is what I thought. Pretentious because they were intelligent, they were nice, but they thought they were somehow special because they were doing this. And of course I didn't enjoy the fact that, you know, it's a competitive thing and I didn't care about it. So I have to go there and like embarrass myself in front of people just because I want to support my girlfriend, and you know, she's gonna cry if I don't do it. And I didn't like the whole idea that I didn't like it, you know, I didn't feel comfortable with it. It's not my thing. But I did it nevertheless. I did it for a long time. And I told Stefcho about it, and other people told him about it, and eventually he started doing, and now he's in love with this. So your turn, man.
So I just wanted to say that it's probably good that your girlfriend didn't open up the conversation with, you want to start swinging?
I think maybe that was maybe that's why she was crying. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe that's what.
That, actually.
It's like, do you want to do some swinging classes? Sure. All right, I'll bring the dicks. Anyway, but the point is, yeah, Stefcho, go ahead. Why do you like it? What do you like about it?
Actually, he said 2 things. I mean, I haven't felt this thing. I mean, of course, the thing is, okay. The thing is about swing, there are all kinds of people. There are pretentious people. Opa, shit, I hit the mic. God damn it, I should stop doing it. There are pretentious people, yeah, but not all of them. I'm not pretentious, and I'm there.
Right.
Okay.
But there are not that many. Maybe that was the wrong time you were in. But anyway, really, there are all kinds of people. Like I don't really think there's one kind of people there that I can say, okay, these are the people that go. There really a lot of kinds.
But the thing is, also there's another thing.
Like
if we agree with you and we say, okay, there are all kinds of people, and let's say the pretentious people are not that many. Let's say this week none of the pretentious persons came to class. Then you'll still be left with all the other groups which are equally annoying, because those groups include A, hot chicks, which is cool. B, single ugly ass developer assholes who just go there to fucking find girlfriends. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about some fucking ugly ass people who are real creepy, real creepy.
I agree.
And they go in there alone just for this, and you're like, what the fuck? And these guys come dance with my girlfriend and all the other girls, right? You know what I mean?
No, but these are a really small percentage, like real small. And the thing is, they and they stop going like really fast. I see a lot of this. I mean, during some period of time, but they just come and then they're gone. But
and just one more thing, because let's say maybe this is my impression because I didn't like it from the start, so I got like a biased. But one thing that maybe you could agree with me is that I didn't like also the business aspect of it because it was a hype. Like I said, it was a wave at the beginning. Some people got to it and they got to it for the money. So they said, "Oh shit, this is a great business. All these people coming in." So they first of all they charge money that is preposterous in my opinion. It's like ridiculous. Like why would you charge this much money for this shit? Second of all, they're not that good because this is true. I mean, they've been doing it for like 10 years, which is for dancing for a 40-year-old person to be doing this for 10 years is nothing.
No. The thing is,
and then
they've been doing swing for 10 years, but they've been dancing for maybe 30 years.
But doesn't matter. I mean, it's like it may help, but not necessarily. And then they bring all these people from abroad, which is cool with all these workshops and stuff. But then they charge like 100 times more, and they get most of the profit anyway. So I don't think the value for money is good. I think someone who can afford you, like you and me at the time, it was cool. But most of the people, I think it's retarded, especially a young person going in, like a student or something.
For some time now, they've been allowing these multi-sport cards. It's a Bulgarian thing where it's like a card it's actually really cheap. That. But I mean, of course there is the money aspect, but they're just doing. I can see that they love it. They love teaching this. It's not something they do just for money.
And the sense that I was getting is a lot of them were like actually like kind of like doing it, loving it, but then out of other options as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like some former actors. I don't want to name people because but I mean like former people who didn't become successful actors or other kind of successful or people who studied sports and never really got a job besides that and just like to dance, so they figured I might as well do this, and they went somewhere abroad and got a license.
You're really negative. You know that the Sofia
No, but there are people like this.
The Bulgarian festival is one of the best in Europe right now. The level is really high, like organization-wise and everything.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm happy for you, and I think it's cool. I mean, we are musicians, so music is cool.
That's a great thing. It's like so many worse things that people.
Yeah. All right, and then when you leave next time, we're gonna talk with Pavkata more about this, and we're gonna make fun of you.
But the thing is, it's a sport. It's also great because that's the only thing that has made me sweat so much, because I don't really like sports like kicking a ball or
or fucking a girl. Yeah.
No, I agree with these things that kind of make you forget about the movement and the cardio part. You think about something else, like you think about the dance or you think about the kicking the ball, and at some point you're like, oh my god, I'm.
Or about that creepy developer dancing with your girlfriend. You go like
no, the thing is,
and
at some point,
is this a boner or is this a disease? Because it doesn't go away.
No, the thing is, at some point you realize that you're very tired, and
when you see a guy walking in the room with a boner, you go, what the fuck, man?
Okay, man, whatever, man. You want to change that subject?
If it was an Olympic sport. And you would still have like the developers with bonus. Like a disease.
No, the problem is that it's art. I mean, dance is art, so there's no sports in arts. So Anyway, so let's change the subject. I don't want.
Let's do it. Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the hit of the week, maybe. Is it time now?
Let's do this, man. Let me just play it in. Here we go. Hate of the week. Okay. This was a romantic hate of the week this time. Every week is a different hate. So what do you want to start with me or do I go?
Maybe I want to be last. Maybe I don't know.
And Pavka, you know what? You can join in because I'm sure you hate some stuff besides swing, definitely. Because that's obvious.
No, I don't really hate swing. I hate Stefcho going to swing.
Right, because you care about him and you love him. That's why. And I care about him.
Otherwise, I would suicide.
And actually, it would be better for swing if he didn't participate.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, man. This is too good, and I'm gonna listen to this many times over and masturbate. But the point is, okay. So I'll go first to give you an example, and this time it's not really a hateful thing. It's more of a practical thing. You know what I hate? I hate fucking. You know what? Let me fucking play some shit. This is like to hype up the atmosphere, man. This is what I hate. I hate it when people go to the gym and they use a belt, a weightlifting belt, for just about anything. For fucking doing push-ups, they use it. For walking around the gym in it, to look in the mirror with it. This is the most retarded thing. Pavka, do you know what I'm talking about? There's a belt that you put around your belt, a waist, right?
Yeah, when you do push-ups, right?
Well, you do, yeah. No, when you're supposed to use this in very rare conditions. You can do anything with it. This is the great thing about it. But it's also very fucked up if you do it, and I'll explain why. So let me break this down to you. The reason that the belt exists is to protect your core, specifically your stomach area and the muscles around, because if you do an excessive amount of strain or you lift something too heavy, you might tear some muscle, and then your internal organs stick out of your fucking stomach. It's called a hernia, right? So you put the belt to basically hold everything together, right? The point is that a normal person would be in a situation like this, like either if it's an idiot and he goes in completely unprepared and lifts like a tremendous amount of weight, or never. Okay, so 99% of the cases, it's never. So you go in, you cannot even lift the amount of weight that can put you in that sort of danger, right? So the point is, and there's a danger from using it when you're not supposed to use it. I'm going to tell you why. Because you want to use it, the guys that use it, first of all, they're not just regular bodybuilders. Those are guys who specifically train for weightlifting or for powerlifting. So they lift a lot of weights, but for small reps. So they do one rep, but with a lot of weight. When these guys do like squats or deadlifts, sometimes they do bench press with the belt on, they do crazy weight. They go way over their body weight, you know? And these guys, when they do it, they know what the fuck they're doing. If you're going in and you just do your regular weightlifting, I don't know, your like regular deadlift, what you're gonna do is, when you do it the safe way, which is you don't go nuts, you progress slowly and you do the full range of motion and you do exercise the way you're supposed to do it without rushing it, without going crazy, you will develop the core. You actually strengthen those muscles around the belly. So eventually you can go pretty far without the belt. So only when you go the top 1% is when you really need the belt. And the thing is, if you don't follow this advice, the belt can give you a false sense of security. You put the belt on, and then you go and you don't feel your body the same way. You don't feel the muscles. You don't feel the strain. You don't feel your stomach shaking because you're going too heavy. And when this is happening, you take off the belt and your fucking kidneys are on the floor. This is what happens because you're an idiot. Because you're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to use it only if it's like the top 1%. By the way, the same thing happened with... recently, because when I moved here, I forgot my straps. You know, I use straps for like when I do back exercises and you put around the hands, like, so if your hands fail sooner than your back, then you can still do a couple of reps because of the straps, right? It's a great idea. It's not the same as the belt. You can use it. But I forgot them. So I go, well, you know what? I'm going to train without them and then eventually I'll buy them or whatever. And then I remembered I watched Dorian Yates talk about this once. He was on Joe Rogan many years ago. I watched him. And he talked about they were watching some of his photos, like in his prime. And Joe was like, "Oh my God, look at those, like look at those muscles, look at those forearms, like your forearms are huge." And he goes, "I never trained forearms in my life." And you go, "What the fuck? How?" And you know, because they're exercises for forearms. He goes, "I never done any of those." And he's like, "How did you get this?" "Well, I never used straps." So because he never used straps, when he would do like a lot of weight for back exercise, for those rowing exercises, his hands would naturally strengthen. And so the forearms would grow naturally because they had to adapt to it, which is a great point. The point is, if you do your work slowly, don't rush it, don't expect miracles, do your work, go there every day, you know, you're consistent with your training, over time you're going to develop supporting muscles and other stuff that you're supposed to if you want to really progress. If you don't do this, you're never going to really progress. And if you do these all kinds of equipment, I see all the time like people going in, doing some insane exercises, and the guy's like, he cannot do 10 push-ups, but he's doing some fucking 360 rotation under the fucking, inside a vacuum tube. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I'm like, what is this guy doing? He's not supposed to do these advanced shit until he figures out his core exercises. Anyway, so this was my hate. Now it's your turn. Oh, unless you want to comment. Sorry, I got a little too technical.
Yeah, I think you were very passionate about this belt.
Goddamn belt, man! I fucking hate the belt.
Yeah, I also go to the gym sometimes, but I think there's so much worse things at the gym. But maybe there are not many belt people around me. So
well, at least people are not wearing bow ties in the gym, and they would do it in the swing dance.
I think it changes a bit, didn't we?
It's
sorry.
Hate of the week, so.
Yeah, but it's hate, not hate.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so who goes next?
Stefcho?
No, I want to make a segue to a bigger topic. Can I go last?
Yeah, go ahead. So, Borko, come up with something you hate.
No, who is Borko? What the fuck is Borko?
Sorry, yeah, Pavka. Sorry, man.
Okay, that's fine. It was a mouth insult. Anyway, I wasn't like prepared for this segment of the podcast.
Yeah. Speak from your heart.
From my heart. Well,
say what you hate about the Middle East.
What I hate about it. I'm not saying that on a podcast. Okay, obviously, I can talk about like the journalist who got like kidnapped in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul.
You hate those guys? Fucking journalists.
No, he was like he's a Saudi national who.
Have you heard about this?
No.
Really?
Okay, so
but it was big news.
Basically, he's a Saudi national.
I was in the gym, man. Sorry.
Freaking belt.
Who is like an American citizen as well, and he was like a dissident to the regime in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, and so basically what they did was he was supposed to have his divorce certificate or something like. He was supposed to get it from the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, so he entered the building and he never left. And basically what happened is they killed him, dismembered him, and I don't know, dumped him in a well or something. It was quite intense. And
but why?
Because he's a dissident. He was like writing, I think, for the New York Post or for the Washington Post. Anyway, he was writing like articles about Mohammed bin Salman, who is the prince in Saudi Arabia. And you know what I really hate about this whole situation is obviously we have this we have this problem with human rights in the Middle East, and then you have like Western democracies and the US. And they obviously they're not happy with the situation because this was most likely with the knowledge of the prince, and they're not doing shit about it because obviously Saudi Arabia is this huge weapon buyer. They're buying weapons from Sweden, from like Germany, France. I think I'm not sure about. But from the States, like Trump went there on his first international.
Yeah, remember when they were talking. There was this religious guy in the States who was defending Saudi Arabia, the gun deals. Who was his name? I forgot the guy.
I'm not sure. But anyway, do you know that actually Bulgaria was selling weapons to Saudi Arabia? And like in 2014,
where did we get those weapons? So
no,
after
actually, my mom and dad make them. I think.
Not all of them.
They work at the factory.
They help.
For weapons. So.
Every time we learn something about your family, it's disturbing.
Yeah, do you have any weapons around here? Like, should I be concerned?
No, I'm scared to get one because
actually,
I think I'll suicide.
Just being here, but anyway.
Okay, but that's an interesting point because you say that's an issue, and everyone is like not pretending that it's not happening because there's a lot of money involved.
Yeah, I
but
hate
what would
hypocrisy, all of it.
Right.
Like I don't really care. I'm not like anti-Saudi or anti-America, anything like that. It's just hypocritical because it's all for money. And I mean, every country does shit. Like we have Russia, Israel, America. Everyone kills or like has agents and stuff like that. But we have good guys and bad guys, and you don't have. It's all gray because everyone's an asshole. But then at some point you're defending assholes because they have money, and this is what I hate.
Yeah. Well, at some point, like all the bigger decisions, the more you learn, the more you understand. It's all economically
maybe
driven.
We can talk about this more now. Like, how did we get here?
Yeah. Let's fucking talk about some serious shit for a change. Yeah. I don't know where do we start with this. Let me ask you this, Pavka. Let me ask you, how did this begin? Like for you, like how did you get into politics and into this region? Like what made you interested in that?
Actually, I studied political science in the Sofia University. And
I studied a lot of shit. I don't remember nothing, man. I remember 1 + 1 is 2. That's it. That was. I don't remember much. So yeah, congrats, man. At least you the first person I ever met who studied something in, what was it, Sofia University?
Yeah, political science.
Fuck, Sofia University. Finally producing a functioning individual. that's
Come on, man. I've also graduated there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a different faculty, but still. Oh yeah, you too. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised by.
Look where we are. So, we have like
you studied this, but obviously, but you know, you obviously got this, you know, interest beyond the, you know, just the academic part of it. So, what is interesting about, you think, the Middle East that you know, we can specifically learn from?
But no, let's start from the beginning, like.
The Big Bang.
Well, yeah, you know, like in the Big Bang, I'm not sure about the state of the Middle East then.
I mean, it all started during probably it dates back in when Jesus was born, but maybe we should like talk about the last 100 years.
Oh, it goes way back than way more back than that.
I mean, yeah, it really goes way back, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, man. Because the Middle East. But the Middle East is an interesting. But we can actually make this real quick. Travel through time, because if you think about it, really, the Middle East is such an interesting place because it's the cradle of civilization. You know, it's not the cradle of life, but it's at least there's where agriculture came from.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Tiger and Euphrates. So that's where religion, culture, every form of civilization that we still use today came from there. The first writers, I think, actually, very funny fact, if you talk about human rights, I read somewhere that I think the first writer was a woman, actually, from the Middle East, from, I don't know, Mesopotamia or something. It was the first writer in history that we know of. Anyhow, but they came up with some incredible concepts, and over again through the years, they were leading in so many, I mean, going back and forth, but after, you know, the rise of the Egypt and Roman Empire, then Greek Empire, still they had some pretty good moments after that. Like, for example, in like 6th, 7th century before they came up with Islam, they were like the most Christianic, the most believing people of all the Christians. Then I mean, let's not forget, like, they came up with, you know, we still use the Arabic letters. Yeah. They were the first physicists, mathematicians, ethics. It all comes from there. And then all of a sudden we have Islam, and it seems to me, maybe I'm wrong, but after that it just went fucking astray. No, after that,
yeah, let's talk about how it all started.
Yeah, actually, I want to just say that, yeah, I kind of see your point, but also afterwards you have the Ottoman Empire, which was
right,
like, you know,
still a great point, a highlight.
And
right,
it's one of the like biggest empires that existed
yeah,
at the time.
Yeah, we were under their.
If you imagine,
yeah,
like,
Bulgaria was enslaved.
Bulgaria was like part of the Ottoman Empire, and like the western parts of Saudi Arabia was also part of the Ottoman Empire. And like, can you imagine that, like, being in the same state with people living over there on the Arabian?
That's a very good point. Like, and I want to ask you something, because I don't know what your position is on this. Obviously, as someone who you've read about this from different sources, I'm sure. And not just the Bulgarian historians on the subject, but like all kinds of people. Right. So my point is this. What do you think about the whole... because we read this in the news, and I'm not sure if it's sensationalism or if it's actually true, but over time it seems that people are every once in a while outraged in Bulgaria about like every time we change like history books in schools, we seem to kind of minimize you know, the impact of the Ottoman Empire on Bulgaria. And what do you think about it? Was it really like well, I'm sure some people benefited from it, even in Bulgaria, but was it an overall kind of neutral thing, or is it really the negativity that is something we should still never forget? Or what is your opinion about that?
Well, the issue is that the people are like taking the two extremes, but obviously, like, if you live in that time, it wouldn't be exactly like that. It wouldn't be neither like just Ottomans butchering your family, or like Ottomans giving you money, or just you know, growing your
opportunities and stuff.
Opportunities and stuff. So I think it's like I think in this situation it's more of a middle ground, and you have phases or like periods. Let's call them hot and cold. And when you have a hot period or like an extreme period, where you have a lot of state-produced violence against the population.
After uprisings or stuff like that, or
exactly.
like if the system is not stable.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the people on that extreme would always point out on that. And when you have like a cold period when it's all peaceful and people are just minding their shit, you would have the other the other extreme of people telling you that it was all good, fine and dandy, and you know, peachy. But I think I think it's this shouldn't be just a matter of a perspective. It should be like an observation for the whole period, and I think that's the issue. We shouldn't like just say it was good or bad. We should just observe it as a historical fact, and not have like final conclusions,
and not put an emotional spin on it.
The whole period, when you can observe the whole period, you can make up your mind about it. You don't need someone to tell you, no man, it was really bad, or no, it was fine. Don't need that. We just need to teach them how it was.
Right, just the facts. And there are facts that were atrocious, and there are facts about people, you know, being raped and killed, and all kinds of violence going on, and all kinds of shit. But yeah, I mean, you're right, and I think I agree with you in the sense that this happens a lot now, especially, and now in this political climate, if I can call it this way. But it happens now that people go back and retroactively try to rewrite things. Like with the whole patriarchy narrative and everything, like everyone going back, and from our perspective, you don't even see how wrong you are, because people are different now, and people were different back then, and times were different back then, and technologies were different, and life was harder, and everything was different. So you can't think, oh yeah, people were the same, so they must have been really fucking pissed off at this. Well, it's not necessarily, you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know what's really interesting to me? Like when you had the Ottoman invasion, it was like the end of the 14th century.
Right. What is 1393 was something like this?
96 was the final, I think. So anyway, you would have that period.
That's the Bulgarian in Bulgaria, the invasion.
I mean the invasion in Bulgaria, of course. So basically, at that time, you didn't have nation states. People didn't think about themselves as part of a nation. You know, they didn't have this conscious, I'm a Bulgarian.
Right.
Of course, they technically knew that they're Bulgarians, but they were like having, let's say, like a prince or just a king above them.
Interesting.
They were serving, and they were seeing themselves as servants of that person.
So from that perspective, doesn't matter who the servant, who you serve to, right?
It does matter because you know we had different taxes. It was like you couldn't build churches, stuff like that. So obviously it mattered to them, and obviously it's really good to have your sovereign state, that it's your own. But basically, the people there didn't think of themselves as like I cannot say that with certainty because I didn't live there, but the perception of a nation state and nation consciousness is something relatively new. Maybe it started around the end of the 18th century, so you have to have that in mind. It was really,
and also you got a very interesting perspective is, kind of tracing back our historical records of certain things, and as times change and as the rulers change and the political systems change, every once in a while, once there's a big change, someone sits down and rewrites history. That's the first thing that happens, and people start making a certain narrative, and they start building, and all the other generations, they really just keep going with that direction. So that's something that we may never know exactly, like the complete picture of what it was back then, because everything we know is after we got out of it, and people were just like, oh fucking hell yeah, finally, you know what I mean? So That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying mostly is that we should take everything with a grain of salt and not get so emotional about it. We need to warn it so we don't repeat the same mistakes.
Yeah,
but
it's very interesting because when you think about it, Europe specifically, but I guess it's probably the same in the Middle East. It's such a cesspool of just different cultures and everything. But ultimately, we were kind of split because once we're fighting each other, and then we're brothers again, and then ultimately, but we're still Slavs or whatever. I mean, there's the same roots in the beginning of it. So it's just a constant like shifting and spitballing ideas and identities, and now we're friends, tomorrow we're fighting, and then we're friends again, and it's very weird. I don't think that there are many places like this. Like it's for sure it's not like this in the Americas, but in here it's a lot more. We're acting fast on it.
I don't think they're that much comparable. When their history is so much younger.
And if you want to get like really philosophical, it's so fucking weird. When I was I don't know if I was reading something or listening, but you know how people got to the Americas, the North America and South America? It was about 10,000 years ago in the last ice age when the oceans, the part between China and Alaska froze. People literally walked from China to the northern states, and they populated this area. And now scientists, based on DNA analysis, based on like looking at the genomes and stuff of people in North and South America, were able to estimate that it might have been as little as 8 reproductive couples. It might have been between 8 and 40 couples. So imagine 8 couples. They might have probably knew each other. Be like, hey man, what's up? 8 fucking couples, 16 people. Started so many fucking nations, cultures, and different religions and stuff, everything. This is all South America, North America, ever. All the Native Americans, Indians in America, and then all the South American Indians and everything. All of these guys are just a couple of friends and neighbors, you know what I mean? At the beginning.
Pretty sure this is where swinging started.
Yes, exactly, right. Right, so let's get back to the Middle East, man.
No, but...
I don't know...
why don't we talk about because I know the plan was to talk about 100 years ago. How did
it's related to the Middle East?
Yeah, exactly. So let's go back, not just talk about now.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, all right.
Yeah, sure.
So let's start 1400 years ago. Go and make it really fast.
So this is what we're talking about, the beginning of Islam, or
beginning of Islam. This is why it's really crucial, because you would have these two. I'm not sure about the exact term, but let's call them sects, or official followings of Islam, which is the Shia and the Sunni.
So these are the two groups.
Yeah, and
it's like the schism of the Islam.
Yeah, it's like the schism, exactly. And you have Saudi Arabia, which is Sunni, and you have Iran, which is Shia. I think it's something like 70 to 30 Sunni to Shia.
What's the difference? Is it still like this now, or?
Yeah, it's still like this now, and the difference is to my opinion, I think it's so minor. At least it used to be so minor that it's somehow to me really strange that they have this cold conflict between them.
Okay.
So
these guys are not friends.
They're definitely not friends. We'll talk about this later.
This is the most professional I can get.
All right.
Guys, news break. Shia and Sunni are not friends. In case you didn't know what happened 1400 years ago.
Well, that's like the Catholics and the Orthodox. It's kind of.
Well, we're not really enemies. We're not mortal enemies.
Definitely not the same. But so the main difference between the Shia and the Sunni is that to put it
the name.
To put it simply, is that the Sunni believe that the power, the person who should lead, his his power or
where should it come from?
Authority should come from his heritage, and basically directly from God, which is usually basically they should be a descendant of Muhammad.
This is the Sunnis.
This is the Sunnis. This is and the Shia actually believe that their leaders can be elected. This is not
so
per se
they're more progressive thinking.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call it that, but okay, let's say more progressive. But you can see that manifesting currently in the two biggest countries. You know, the Saudi Arabia is a monarchy, and then you have Iran, which is a democracy. And obviously, it's not a Western democracy, but you know they have voting, they have elections. So, so yeah,
that's nowadays.
In theory, it's a democracy. So this is the main difference, and this is what is driving them apart, like all these centuries. And to me, it's kind of ridiculous because it seems to be this minor thing, but it's causing so much, like
death.
Well, yeah, death and suffering between people, and you know, just like regular people.
And that's today's days.
But this is weird because you said, okay, so the Saudi Arabia guys are Shia, right? And because Sunni, okay.
Sunni, yeah.
Because you said they're monarchy.
Yeah.
Right. But was the Sunni was believing? Okay, yeah, cool. And then Iran is the Shia. Okay, yeah. but how come it seems to me that Saudi Arabia is the one who's more kind of better off now? Like Iran is the all the women in burqas and I mean Saudi is in the burqas too, but they can drive now. They can go to the cinema, watch an edited version of Black Panther and all kinds of stuff like this, and they're richer. Is it just the oil that makes them better off, or what is it?
Not only the oil. I just want to say that the first this year, you know, they opened the movie theaters, and the first movie they
screened.
They screened.
Played,
they screened was the emoji movie. So
there's no progress after this, man. They ruined it. They ended it.
But you know.
Wow, what a great start.
Yeah, but
and then they introduced swing, and they just got fucked.
But that would be a pretty good movie to watch. To watch in a movie theater if you haven't watched a movie in a movie theater in a while.
You're like, wow, we're missing this shit? Nah, fucking turn this off, man.
Yeah,
Let's go home and fucking pray. Let's go back to the mosque and just chill and just take off our shoes and chill.
So we have to go.
Let's go beat our wives and whatever, drink.
We have to go to maybe around the Cold War, which was, you know, this conflict between the USSR and the US.
And was it after that Iran went nuts? Because, I mean, Iran wasn't like this the whole time. It was like, what, the beginning of the 90s?
Well, they were kind of like this because they were always unsystematic player. Because in the Cold War, they didn't side with the Soviets or with the Americans. So they were basically hated by everyone. And this is, I think this is when it began to suck for them. Actually, and this is why it's so hard for them to catch a break nowadays. And also they're like really militant against Israel, while Saudi Arabia is being moderate towards Israel. And basically Israel is friends with the US, so that makes it really hard for Iran.
Right.
And you know, Saudi Arabia and Israel have this thing like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they have to be friends for now. Yeah. All right. Well, sorry, I was kind of distracting you, asking you back and forth questions through different periods. But let's go back. So how do we get back on track here? Okay, so we're talking about Sunnis and Shias. This is like the beginning of the Islam. This is where the schism happened. It was not at the beginning, but like, I don't know, maybe 200 years afterwards. It doesn't really matter the exact period. So you know, you have this division between Sunnis and Shia, and it's also like a geographical division, because you have like Iran, then you have Iraq and Syria, which is like, if you imagining it's a horizontal line, kind of. Yeah. And then you have Saudi Arabia, Jordan. Also, you have like the Gulf states, which are United Arab Emirates, Qatar. And these are the really like fortunate ones. No, Qatar. These are all Sunni actually. These are all Sunni as well. And and you can see you have this division. Turkey is also Sunni. And basically,
so you're usually they're the better offs or what or not?
Well, so it happens. I'm not sure.
But then that not might be the reason you're saying.
Well, it's really complicated, so I wouldn't pin it down to just being the type of Islam they're practicing. I wouldn't.
This is a simple show, man. We want to pin it down to things that don't matter. We want to say, listen, the guys with burqas, they're the good ones. These are the bad guys. The black ones are good. Yellows are bad. And then, So this is that's why I'm asking.
So yeah, actually, I don't think we have good guys and bad guys. Sorry to disappoint you.
They're all bad. Okay, so
now this division, if you can imagine it, the Sunni states that are sitting in between the Shia, the Shia states that are between the Sunni states. You have Turkey above everything.
Yeah.
And it's really strange because Saddam Hussein, for example, he was a Sunni in a Shia majority country. So you can imagine how this turned out for the Shia people.
So wait, so you're saying this is sort of like a liberal conservative, the same kind of two kind of ends of the spectrum for them? It's like they have different parties. Some are Sunni, some are Shia, some are more. The Shias are more conservative. The others are less.
No. I wouldn't say that because they're not really that democratic. So we cannot. Well, imagine if conservatives surrounded up liberals and started shooting them. Basically, that would be the same.
Right.
And to top it all off, you have the Kurds who are spread.
And these guys are what?
Well, I think they're mostly Sunni, but the issue with them is that they're not. There are different ethnics.
Ethnicity. Yeah.
Yeah, ethnicity.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. And basically, you have them spread between Turkey, Iran, Iraq, and Syria. Between these four countries, and they don't have a state, which is it's not cool not having your own state. And
right. So they're like some sort of like I don't know the gypsies or some sort of nomadic culture.
Not like that. It's not no. This is what I actually wanted to bring up. This is the end of the First World War. The Middle East was united because of the Ottoman Empire, but as you know, at the end of the First World War, the Ottoman Empire was on the side of the losers.
Losers. Yeah.
And with us, of course.
Of course.
Traditionally. And
what are the odds? 50-50. Let's be the losers.
And basically they had to split the region. And what is maybe I'm not I don't want to say it, but maybe the one of the most insane decisions that are possibly defining our current international politics was made by French and an English general, the Sykes-Picot, I think it was called, agreement, which basically divided these countries.
Right.
The way they are today, and if you look at the
and the reasoning for it was to weaken them to avoid having a big competitor or something like this, or
actually most likely it was that. I mean,
but the result was creating a lot of friction and all these different cultures now being divided
because you would have Sunni, Shia, and Kurds in one state.
Oh shit!
This is fucked up.
So they didn't do the dividing right. They didn't follow the lines. Someone colorblind just went and just randomly cut it into pieces.
Yeah, if you check a map of the Middle East, you can see one of the borders on Syria and Iraq is just one straight line.
Fuck.
They didn't geographically it doesn't make any sense. So they just divided it this way, and this is why you have these countries that are in perpetual war and chaos.
Wow. Okay, so you're saying this was like the beginning of where things started getting fucked up there.
Well, yeah, this decision, I believe this decision is what is causing so much harm today.
Okay, and then what happens after that? We're in the between the wars. What is the situation there?
Well, between the wars you have. Actually, I'm not that familiar because this is like the beginning of the states, and you would have a lot of states, but basically, I believe a different type of a royal family should have gained access to the Saudi Peninsula, to the the place that Saudi Arabia is. Yep. But the UK did not support them. So currently you have the House of Saud, which
is the prequel to House of Cards, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Without Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's
But it would be easier to harass women there and men.
Yeah, you don't need him. It was so fucking
it's really like
so unsafe that you don't need a guy like him. Yeah. All right.
So basically now we have this House of Saud, which they practice a different kind of Sunni Islam, which is called Wahhabism. And it's a really extreme and traditional style of Islam. And this is why...
And does it make you sneeze like the wasabi, or no?
No, it does not. But maybe if you happen to sneeze, I don't know, someone gets... If you
anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Without permission, I don't know what would happen. But so Wahhabism is like really conservative and traditionalistic. So that's why you see it. I mean, it all has a root cause. You know, it didn't just happen overnight. Like some people decided to be more conservative, or like some countries decided to have civil wars. You know, it's all with a reason. And this is again my point. I'm not pointing fingers or like judging. I'm just saying that it's a really complicated region that has a lot of history, and this is what's really interesting to me.
And that's a very, very good point, because every time, like you say, every time things get unstable like this, like happens, like they lose the war and this family, you know, doesn't get the support or something like this, there's a risk that some other group will get like a rapid rise in fame, you know, and that group might be super conservative or super liberal or whatever. Some sort of weird shit might happen, you know.
Exactly.
Okay, so then what happens? Like, where are we now? Like after this, we're in Second World War.
Yeah, Second World War. Well, there is nothing. I mean, at least, I'm not sure if there is anything really important apart from the afterwards from the creation of the state of Israel.
Right. But there were not. Besides that, during the war, were there any fights there? I mean, there were in Egypt for sure, but around that area, probably I don't know.
No, I think it was mostly Northern Africa.
Right.
And
yeah.
I think like some of the like Arab states were loyal to the Axis.
So ironic, man. They survived even the Second World War, which destroyed some of the best historical, cultural heritage of Europe, and all the Syria and all the amazing monuments they had survived that, and they didn't survive the fucking idiots now and the fucking trolls going out there.
Let's just clarify that you're talking about the Islamic State.
Yeah.
Because
So anyway, so let's go back. So now we are at the end of the Second World War, and what happens now?
So like I think it was 48, the year that you have the creation of Israel, and you
got a new player there on the map.
Yeah, this was like really controversial, because nobody wanted them and everyone hated them, and it would be really hard for Israel to stand their ground and to just have a state there, basically. Which again, I don't support nor condemn. I'm just like stating facts. It's really interesting because in I think it was 68 or 69, you have the 6-day war, when you have like Egypt, I think. Basically Egypt, I'm not sure about Lebanon or Syria, and Jordan. Jordan definitely, I think they took place. You have the 6-day war, which was all these Arab states against Israel, and Israel won.
With some help, I guess.
Were they fighting?
No,
like really fighting? Like
really, I guess. And the Americans didn't help, or anyone? No one intervened.
Well,
I mean, they were shooting each other.
Yeah, they were shooting each other. Well, no, mostly Israel won by making really strategic decisions.
Okay.
For example,
by being, let's not be, say anything anti-Semitic, but by just using their natural talent for negotiations and, coming up with deals, making deals.
In this case, it was just bombing the airfields of Egypt, so they wouldn't have a functioning air force, which in this type of age, air forces decide really help with deciding the outcome of a conflict.
Right.
So this is what they did, and it was possibly their best decision in this war. So after this year, you have them like a really stable player.
This is the 68, you said?
Yeah, 68 or 9, I'm
okay.
Not really sure. Like, Steph told me not to read. So it would be natural.
Yeah.
Well, the end of the 60s.
Yeah.
Whatever you learned so far, that's it, man. It's like a bad teacher telling you, whatever you learned before the exam, you won't learn anything last 5 minutes.
Yeah, kind of.
And it's great to really relax our friends and our guests to make them feel like they're on an exam.
Well, that wasn't my exact quote, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I was just like trying to agitate him.
To make me be the villain in this.
But anyway, so you would have this player on the scene that was like obviously strong and feared now, and there was no workaround this time. They would have to deal with it. So I think this is what even brought more tension to the region. And obviously, I don't want to go in there because I don't think it's really that important, the whole Israeli-Palestine conflict. But it's definitely.
But okay, just to mention, how did that start? Like, at which point did that became one of the main conflicts?
Well, I think it started with the creation of the Israeli state.
Right
then and there, because they had to. Obviously, they have.
But what was the problem of Palestine in particular? The territory or
territory?
Yeah, so they took a big part of it and they go, fuck you, and we hate you from now on.
Yeah, kind of, but also like the Jews were also native to this region. So
yeah, it wasn't obviously a random decision to pick this spot.
I don't think so, and again, it's hard for me talking about this. Because I don't want.
You're emotional because the tip of your dick is missing. Is that let's say? Are you a Jew?
Well, actually,
is it?
in the Middle East, everyone's tip of the dick is missing. Doesn't matter.
Oh, exactly, right.
Right.
So yeah, let's clarify.
Which let's first of all let's discuss this first of all, because what is your position on this? Well, do you support cutting the part of your dick off, or
actually,
you don't?
I support cutting the whole dick.
Really? You support cutting the whole dick rather than cutting the tip of the dick?
Yeah, because
you go like you're a kind of 100% person. You go nuts or go home.
Yeah, because like you don't. No. In general, cutting your whole dick. Because like imagine like having a dick constantly next to you, attached to your body. Like pretty sure this makes you gay.
What the fuck are you talking about? Wait, I don't understand. So you say if I cut off my dick and keep it next to me, that will make me gay? Is that what you said?
No. I'm saying that if it's attached to you, it's always next to you.
What is that? The skin of my dick, or what is attached?
No, you have a dick on your body.
You have a dick on your
Yes,
body.
I do.
That's pretty gay.
How did you know?
Isn't it gay?
That's pretty.
Yeah,
gay.
that must be. Yeah, that's pretty gay actually. Yeah, you're right.
That was my point.
See, I never thought about it this way, but yeah, you're right.
This reminds me of like one of my friends' catchphrases, or how do you say, like not catchphrase, but what was the
like nervous tick? You mean
what?
I don't know. You were asked.
So no, the phrase that you get girls with, not a catchphrase, but
a pickup line.
Pickup line, yeah. So his pickup line was like, I played with many pussies and I enjoyed like 60% of them, and I enjoyed 100% of the dicks I played with. So that makes me gay.
Wow. Wow.
Anyway, that's statistics.
Well, first of all, I didn't give you permission to use my pickup lines. Second of all, no, okay. But yeah, that's not mine. You didn't even laugh. I mean, what the fuck? You were offended that I tried to make that joke. It was offensive to you. Anyway, so let's get back to the subject. So we discussed the dicks, which was an important part, and that probably played some part. Like it must have been. There probably are some papers written on the importance of cutting the top of your dick for this for these people to make it there. There must be someone. I don't know, man. I mean,
I think like
it's weird to me.
Yeah, it's but they don't. They also don't eat pork. I mean, who doesn't love bacon?
Right. And the other thing, I don't know, were you, so wait a second, were you at this show when I was talking about cutting bits of your dick off or no?
I'm not sure, maybe.
Okay, because I had a bit about this. Because basically I had one of my shows, I was like, one of my, like 3 specials ago, I had a bit, I don't want to repeat myself in case someone listens who was there, but basically my point was, out of all the fucking parts of your body, someone decided to listen for God, I'm gonna fucking cut part of my dick off. Like, why didn't you, I don't know, I'll cut my fucking pinky off, my hand off, my fucking ears off, I don't need them. But this shit, you fucking cut your dick off, and then, I don't know, man, I mean, I talked about it a lot, I was pretty furious about it. But the whole, the whole idea that these guys are like, fucking in the desert, you know, you're cutting off your fucking dick, and all of the fucking sand sticks to that, you know, tender, under skin layer of your dick flesh, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it sticks to it. It's crazy.
The dick's clitoris.
It's like sandpaper for pussy. It's crazy. You stick that fucking headless dick inside a pussy, it's gonna catch fire. It's crazy. I don't know.
Your dick. Why are you so enraged?
I'm enraged, man. I mean, in general, enraged. Hate of the week. Hate those fucking people for thousands of years cutting dicks off. I hate that. Anyway, so let's get back to this.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to say on the dick cutting subject, because it's really important.
Yes, it is. And people don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, no.
And you want to get back to your genius idea to cut off the entire dick, right? This is the argument.
No, I just wanted to say that in the States for the last few years, there were like a couple of like STDs, like sexually transmitted diseases.
I know them personally, yes.
To newborns. Yeah, no.
Yes.
To newborns because of dick cutting.
What?
Exactly
what?
like.
Wow. What? How?
Because they do it to kids. Like when you're newborn, they cut your dick off so you don't.
It was to Jews actually because they're circumcised the tip.
And you know who cuts best dick? Fucking Nazi scientists. So those fucking Nazi scientists that escaped and they go to the States and they pretend to be doctors and they wait for the little Jews and they give them STDs. This is the truth, man. This is how it works, man. So the Third Reich. This is the Fourth Reich.
It was actually you're not Reich, but it was actually the rabbi.
This is the foreskin Reich.
It was actually the rabbi because they suck the blood, you know. They basically suck the dick.
The rabbi.
Shit.
Yeah, the rabbi.
What?
Rabbi, this son of a bitch.
They have to like, you know, like because it's bleeding.
Right.
Wait, they suck everyone's dicks?
Well, they don't suck their dicks per se.
Wait, they suck it? Wait, I didn't hear it. Wait, they suck the rabbi sucks the dick off?
It's like a snake bit you.
No,
but wait a second, how does the rabbi have STDs in his mouth? Because I'm pretty sure my dick was sucked by some fucking nasty horse.
Circumcision.
No, I mean maybe like it was a herpes or something like that.
Wait, but they do it after every dick cutting.
Well, it's a tiny dick, man. It's a baby dick, so you can't just like stitch it. You gotta suck it. You gotta like lick it a little bit with your tongue. Like, you lick it.
You know,
just the tip of the.
They have to lick it, and when they have a herpes, it's basically
they have to lick it. What do you mean they have to?
I mean, because how are you gonna stop it otherwise? You gotta be gentle because it's a tiny baby. You gotta be gentle. Just like kiss it a little bit. Just go lick it a little bit.
Reading. I will have to read it on Google.
So basically,
no, but the thing is,
you would
I'm concerned now.
Lick But if you have a herpes, it can transmit to the baby.
Okay, well, listen. First of all, I'm very concerned because my dick has been sucked by some really sketchy characters and some horrors. I'm like, oh, I put a fucking condom on. And there was one story. One bitch sucked my dick, and my dick started bleeding because I was getting this bitch drunk like for quite a couple of hours, and her fucking whore mouth was so dry. It was like when she sucked my dick, it was like, you know, really like. Third-degree burns, and so like you know, I was like gushing blood through my cock. I was like about to pass out. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? I'm coming so hard. It's like I'm filling her mouth with blood. And so the point was, now maybe yeah. So I'm very concerned now that I heard the story. Number one, don't let rabbis suck your dick. Yeah. But the point is, by the way, just to be very, very serious. All I said is true. But just to be very serious, this is a very fucked up thing, and we need to educate people because, like in the States, people think it's actually because there's so many Jewish people there that non-Jewish people also do this because they think it's good for like hygienic reasons. And the truth is, it's bullshit. It's not, and I'll tell you why. So first of all, hygienic reasons is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, cause what? Like, yeah, I can't wash my dick. What am I? Like on a wheelchair? Like, come on, my hands are getting dirty, so why not cut my hands off? It's fucking retarded. The argument with hygiene is retarded. The second argument is when you cut off the tip of the... First of all, imagine the thousands and thousands of neurological endings in the tip of your cock. Oh, yeah. And you cut this off, so then you don't know if you're fucking, if you're dying, what's happening. You can't feel shit. The tip of your dick is covered in skin to protect the most kind of gentle fucking flesh on your body. And if you remove this, it becomes callous. It's just like you know these old ladies in the summer just running around barefoot in the garden, and you look at their heels are all fucking fucked up, like you put a bread in the oven and forgot it for 2 hours, like, you know, all fucking cracked up, and then there's some worms inside and all that. So imagine this: you crack that dick with worms inside, and you want to have a good life, and you go, oh, it's hygienic, man, it's hygienic. I don't feel it, but I know it smells good.
That was the second reason.
What I'm saying is it's bullshit. Don't listen to these people. Don't fucking cut your dicks off. That's what I'm saying.
No, I've heard it makes it look bigger, but then
no,
again,
it doesn't.
One chick asked me if I was circumcised, so I don't know.
It does. How does it make it bigger? Makes no sense. It doesn't make it bigger. It's just.
Wait, but what's the real?
Listen, if that's the truth, I'll cut it right now. Wait a second. I'll just get a knife. But no, it doesn't work like this because I've researched all the methods to get it bigger, and it's not one of them.
Hygiene.
For what? For doing it or for not doing it?
For doing it.
For doing it, well, they say hygiene. If it's not religious, it's for hygiene. But it's bullshit.
No, but it has
it's a fake. It's a stupid.
It's a religious thing.
No. I'm saying people who are not religious also do it. Like they can choose in the States if you're having a baby.
Like this.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. No, it's true. Like you know, if you watch a movie,
but there are all kinds of people doing all kinds of stupid things. Things religion.
Yeah. Anyway, but they're not informed. Especially like imagine a guy who was circumcised as a baby. He never experienced a normal dick. He's always had this callous dick. He's always like the tip of his head is like a rubber glove. He doesn't feel it. It's like, you know, he can slap a car with it and he won't feel it. Like you can drive 10 bikes through his dick, he wouldn't feel it. So he has a baby, and this guy's baby, he goes, yeah, sure. I mean, my dick is like this. So you understand? So these people are not educated, and they keep doing the same mistake over and over.
Yeah, but why? I still don't get it.
Because they think it's good. They think it's, I don't know, it's good, it's hygienic, that's what everyone does.
There's probably another reason, like religious reason.
This is like the same reason for not vaccinating your kids.
No.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a
stupid as fuck.
It's
a
religious
thing, but Bogi is saying that.
But not only. What I'm saying is maybe it started as a religious thing. Because there was a lot of Jews in the States.
Religious purpose? Yeah. Okay, but what's the religious part?
Oh, I don't know. No, I haven't researched it. I don't know. Do you know, Pavka? Do you know? Sorry, I keep going. Do you know what the religious reason for that is?
No, not really. I presume it's something to do with the heat in the region. But
I doubt it. I think it's sand. I think it's because like a little bit of sand can get stuck in between the layers of skin, and then if you don't have a lot of water around because it's a desert, it starts rotting and it starts like yeasting and just like dropping, like yeast drops from your cock all day long, and you collect it and you can, you know, go and just have some plants and put some yeast in the kitchen table and you know make a nice dinner.
What the hell are people doing there then?
I believe it all started with like a rational reason in mind.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, thousands of years ago, people were, if anything, rational. They were like, what do we do? Well, let's create a wheel and let's cut the tip of our dicks off. And this way,
people,
and let's come up with fire and then cut something. What do we cut?
They're born in the forest. They're developed to live in the forest, and they were like, oh, there's this desert. Let's live in the desert. And let's...
Well, not really. I mean, think about it. We go way back. So we went from the savannas from Africa. We went to the Middle East, right?
Why don't our dicks work there? If we were there.
No, we were in the savannah, so there was a lot of grass. So they were cleaning their dicks with grass, probably.
Okay,
so if you get some dirt, you get some grass and it...
Okay, not the forest, the savannah. So they went to the desert afterwards. They were like, there's all the sand.
They were like, shit, we gotta adjust, we gotta cut something.
Yeah, we gotta cut ourselves everywhere.
Maybe they were carrying too much weight when they were moving. You know, oh, gotta drop this weight, gotta drop some weight, gotta take some skin off, yeah. But then for some reason they have the beards. So this is what I don't get. Like they get the fucking big beards and that's hygienic. All the fucking food inside and all the fucking like last month's fucking dinner inside. And then cut the tip of your dick. So that makes a difference. It's fucking idiots. I mean, cut the tip of the dick and then cover that dick with the fucking with the big beard, because it reaches your dick. And then make sure that the food reaches the dick too. So then you cover your dick in food from your fucking beard food. Anyway.
That makes sense, maybe. Anyway. So, do I get to talk about my hate of the week?
Hey guys, do you have a lot of fucking skin on your dick and you don't know what to do with it? Well, we thought about it thousands of years ago, guys. And there's a simple solution. It's called cut it off. Makes no sense, and people are gonna talk about it on podcasts in the future and gonna make fun of us. But hey, why not do it right now and for the next couple of thousand years and just see what happens? Maybe some wars will happen. Maybe you'll fight just some fucking religious warfare and die for it. But listen, it's always better to die with a less skin on your dick. It looks better in pictures and girls like it too for some reason. So do it, and then just praise Allah. Thank you. This is a very polite ad. It ends with thank you.
Yeah, I just don't know where to go now. What's the website? You forgot the website.
Oh, there is no website. It's in the book. It's in the end of the Quran. It just you scan the barcode at the Quran and that's how you get.
But I need a website. How do I cut my dick now?
Wait a second. Listen, man. Pavkata has so many interesting things to talk about, and we need to know more about it before we do our shenanigans and our stupidity. Because I got a lot of stupid stuff going on, but there's a lot of stuff in the Middle East that are interesting. So, Pavka, listen, where were we now? We're talking about dicks. We're talking about after the Second World War. We got to the fucking war in the 68. Israel, Palestine. We talk about this, and then what happens? And then Trump. So let's connect.
Let's connect. So basically, you have this power struggle. We already established it between the Sunni states and the Shia states. And nowadays, like countries such as the states, they're kind of supporting the Sunni states, and you can see it because like Turkey is a member of NATO, and also basically Trump is making deals with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty visible, and then you have like Russia supporting Iran. So
how did that happen? That all of a sudden, is it just weapons, or or is it just weapons and oil? That all of a sudden after World War II and all this stuff kind of relaxed. After the war, that the Middle East became this sort of playground for Russia and America and all kinds of shady deals going on there.
Well, during the Cold War, you would always have like playgrounds around the globe, and this was not excluding the Middle East, of course, but it was a interesting period because you had Israel, and basically everyone hated Israel, so they didn't hate each other as much. But once the emotions settled and they saw that Israel would be there for good, they had to like hate each other again, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting because you have like it's the worst proper war that we've had on the planet. It's the Iraq Iran war of '88. This was like, because afterwards all the wars that we've had, they're like, mostly civil wars, or like, having America invade and NATO invade and take out a regime, something like that. So it's not a,
and nowadays the drones and everything, so it's even less personal.
So yeah, but it's not about being personal. It's being about two states fighting it out that are like, balanced, and not like.
So what was the reason for that war?
That the reason for that war was actually, against Saddam was Sunni, and Iran. It's good to mention that Iran had their Islamic revolution in the 70s, I think. Before that, they were like a moderate state, more like more worldly, not Islamic. But after they began being Islamic, they obviously had clashing ideologies with like Iraq and their next door neighbor. And you have Saddam, who is a Sunni, and he's ruling a Shia majority country. So they were kind of bound to clash. And it's really interesting because this is the conflict that drives a lot of also what happened afterwards. You have like, after the end of the conflict, which was, I guess, it was just bad for everyone, kind of. But basically, I think Iran pushed back Iraq, and you would have Saddam asking Kuwait for money and stating that they stopped, Persian culture spreading into the Middle East, and Kuwait would not give them any more money from what they've given them. So then Saddam invaded Kuwait, and this is like maybe the first time that the states begin acting, antagonistically. Obviously, like Saddam was a real bad man, and he killed a lot of people. And just stating that because he had the country in an iron fist, he had a lot of control over it. So we didn't go into a civil war, and you didn't have all these, different minorities like Sunni.
And you know what else feels like an iron fist? Like when your dick is circumcised, everything feels like an iron fist.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, I wanted to ask you from the start: is this the Sunni thing? Is it that? Is this what they sing about in this song? Sunni, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Is this about this song? Yeah, Sunni, I cut the top of my dick and I felt some pain. The song. Remember this?
I think because it was full of rain yesterday, but nowadays it doesn't rain in the desert, so it's really sad.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get all the boring stuff out. So basically, you would have like this would be the beginning of like American intervention in the Middle East in the modern times, and now you would have in, I think it was '94, the first American base on Saudi territory, and this is actually, or it was '98. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was in the '90s. So this is what actually motivated, Osama bin Laden to do what he did, and like have the
so was this the beginning of the Americans really intervening in the region and going in that event, or was that going on even before that?
It was before that. Like obviously there was supporting. Indirectly. Like for example, you would have like the invasion of Afghanistan by the Soviets, in the end of the 70s. And this is, I mean, I'm not sure if Afghanistan is exactly Middle East, but it's like next to it.
It's closer to Russia, yeah, so they felt like going there, I guess.
They're next to Iran, I guess, also. Not sure. Anyway. So you would have this war, and actually the states would be supporting the Mujahideen. And this is important because this is part of the Cold War. And again, what we talked about, the conflicts in the Cold War. They would be supporting the Mujahideen, and actually Osama bin Laden would be on the same side with the states. And they would, let's call it allies. And again, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And you can see it throughout the region happening.
Yeah.
So you would have this like states supporting indirectly another opposition of the Soviets. But I mean, obviously the Soviets failed in Afghanistan. Let's just say it, everyone failed in Afghanistan. The US also failed. Like, you know, it's not the best country currently to live in.
Well, drugs did pretty well there, I hear.
Yeah, but US is the best one, so maybe they succeeded.
Well, I don't know about that either. Maybe if you're not...
I think a combination of opiates and just having a couple of goats with extra large bellies. That's, I think, the success story in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I think maybe you're right. So anyway, so let's go back to the 90s. No, you had these interventions from the states in the region, but the most important is the one with the US base in Saudi, because you know the Saudi is the holy land for the Muslims, kind of the land of the two mosques. You would have like the Makkah or Mecca and the Medina mosques.
Yeah,
and they're like really holy for all Muslims.
Yeah, was it like every real believer should go there at least once in a lifetime? Should make a journey there.
That's a bit of a gatekeeping, but yeah. So, so you would have this holy land, and you would have like foreign armed forces on it, and obviously having this conservatism and traditionalism in the Saudi population. This was a cause for unrest, and this is where Osama bin Laden comes in.
So what was his group and their ideology, and what was their problem?
Well, again, it was like extreme Wahhabism, which we talked about. It's like the most conservative, you know, following of, or like not schism, but yeah, you know, of Islam. So basically, they wouldn't stand someone having non-Muslim armed forces in the state of the two holy mosques, and this is actually the cause for 9/11. And I mean,
so but you think it's real? So
right. What's your position on that?
Yeah, I would say it's real because it doesn't make sense for them to. It seems like too much work, and like when it happened, you know, Bush's government was like, I think, 6 months in.
So they didn't have the time.
6 months into the presidency, and it seems like it's really hard to pull it off. And
right. Yeah, I think that's probably the only argument in favor of that though, because listen, in general, I'm not a fan of any conspiracy theories. But I think it's almost unfair that they put this in the category of conspiracy theories, because I just think the evidence is just bizarre and overwhelming, and there's some pretty weird ass stuff about, you know, that building 11, or you know all the architects around the world coming out and making signing up these lists of their expert opinion being that this is a controlled demolition, and then the actual guy who all kinds of evidence. I mean, what I'm saying is makes sense what you're saying, and that's probably the strongest argument. And of course, if you're talking to an American, there'll be a bunch of other arguments because it will be impossible to even imagine if you're an actual American to be like, what? We would never do this to ourselves. But then there's also evidence of them doing similar stunts before, like in Vietnam, and then in Cuba, they've tried the same thing. And so it's a very kind of bizarre situation. Yeah, I don't know where I stand on this, but I think it might have been actually,
staged.
You know, an insane job.
Yeah, actually, I can get behind like the conspiracy theory, but to be honest, I don't believe it was staged because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and like what happened is.
You would say it's too big of a price to pay for the outcome. You say it doesn't make sense to do that much of an effort. And to just to start the war on terror.
Well, yeah. I mean, it led them to going to Afghanistan again, I believe, and afterwards they went to Iraq. But if you think about it, they had enough of a reason to go into Iraq because
right.
Saddam was actually acting this way. He didn't want anyone to check if he had weapons of mass destruction. So you know the real reason wasn't 9/11. The real reason was like the potential for someone having weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, but was that really the real reason? Because that's like, I mean, come on. I think it was just oil and it was just economic reasons. I mean, this was the excuse.
No, the thing is, did they need it?
Yeah, this was the support. I mean, this is what got the support of the American public. But if you think about it, like rationally. Most of the 9/11s, like terrorists were from Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan. And, I mean, they had nothing to do with Iraq. So,
yeah.
So I believe that the general public does not often pay enough attention to these types of situations. But still, I mean, they could have done it like more directly. It's a bit bizarre. I mean, if you're going to plan to invade Iraq for the oil, at least like hire the Iraqi terrorists. I don't know. It makes sense to me.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So what else is there? Because did we miss something? Did we?
Well, the current events.
Okay.
After the fall of Saddam, you have this power vacuum in Iraq. So you would have like this Al Qaeda splinter groups that are just like some type of a Sunni militia, because it's a Shia majority country that was ruled by a Sunni dictator for like for some decades, and
right. And these guys probably.
Yeah, they weren't like
sticking
really nice.
around. They got bored. They didn't have much to do.
Yeah, they weren't like really nice to the Shia majority and to the Kurds.
If you're a bored terrorist and you're wondering what to do with your extra time, and you're considering even the crazy possibility of starting to dance swing dances, well, how about joining Al Qaeda or any other group? Anything that sounds weird like wasabi or anything else, just do that, man. Do that instead, and you learn to fly, you learn to put bombs on your body and do crazy ass shit. Go to Tor browser and just enter some chat group and just talk to people and they'll tell you what to do. It's pretty easy.
I just want to clarify that swinging is not Islamic.
It's prohibited, yeah. It's
no, because you can't you can't have infidelity. You have to marry your second.
You have to marry your swinging partners before you can dance. You gotta marry them.
And if you're dancing, I mean like music from instruments is not allowed in Wahhabism. So you would have to be humming it. So please don't dance.
Like this, and then it'll be really hard for some of the acrobatic stuff to pull them off with all the fucking burqas and the suit. Yeah, the whole bodysuit stuff will be really hard to pull off.
But please don't dance to instrumental music.
It's as much as Islamic as it's anything else because it's everything. But anyway.
That was a bunch of crap. But
okay, so let's talk about like so current events. So what led to everything that happened now in Syria and to the Islamic State and all of that?
So basically, 2012, 13, or like 11 that time, it was the Arab Spring when you had like the North African states and.
Right, and what was that? There was like a coming back to like more traditional beliefs, and then people all of a sudden going back a little bit backwards in time. Was that?
It was progressive, in fact.
Really? Because I thought it was the opposite.
No,
I was misinformed.
Well, I think you're thinking that because in some places it had the opposite effect, and it became more conservative after it. But
okay, 2010. What was the actual Arab Spring? What happened?
It began in Tunisia when like a university student, I think he was, lit himself on fire because of unemployment in the country. Basically, they weren't a proper, capitalistic economy, and they had a lot of like areas, tourism and agriculture that was state ruled and funded and everything, basically state owned. So they had like a really bad unemployment crisis, and this is actually what started it all. Again, you have the conspiracy theory that I would not say it's not true, because it's possible and it's highly likely that you have other countries or like states involved in supporting the rebellion, or like the uprising mostly, because it's not exactly a rebellion. And you would have mostly all of the North Africa, and then you would have Syria, and Syria is a really different case, because most of the North African countries that participated in the Arab Spring, we really have to say that these countries are not Western democracies. Like Bulgaria, for example, it is a really democratic country compared to
it's a real good example of really how democracy really succeeded. I mean, I think the Greeks would be so proud of us, like the ancient philosophers, going, "This is what I meant. This is exactly what I meant." Anyway.
But
but at least we're not Sunni, you know what I mean? Yeah. At least we're not Sunni, because you know what the bad part about Sunni is? Sunni, yesterday my life was filled with rain. No, this sucks. I didn't prepare.
Yeah. It's really amazing how you know the chorus.
You smile at me.
It's the exact
really is the pain. Oh, the dark days are gone and the bright days are here.
You really have a talent for this.
My sunny one shines, so sincere. Sunny one so true. Allah, I love you.
Yeah, didn't expect that. We have a guitar too.
That's great.
And we
also should jam with a lag.
We should jam.
It would be such a nice jam session, jagging with a sky black. Like go boo 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 boo.
Yeah, I'm going to boo 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 boo.
Asia? I know Asia. Chandelier, chandelier, Asia. You know.
Anyway.
A C is a B in
the
general language. Anyway.
I thought you were talking about Sika, my friend Sika, with the nice hair. Sia sounds like a Sunni name.
Isn't it a singer?
Anyway.
Yeah, she's a singer.
Yeah, so go ahead. Yeah, so what happened? Sorry I interrupt you with these amazing things that I feel like sharing.
Yeah, it's like I feel enlightened.
No, it's really like, I understand, you must feel like really swimming upstream if swimming was fighting sharks and upstream was sharks. So
basically, it's really hard because I'm not circumcised, and it's my dick is not.
It's really hard. Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
So you.
It's not that heartless and
so
correct.
When you're swimming upstream, it's harder than being circumcised. But anyway, So basically,
well, maybe it's the opposite because you know when you're circumcised, it just fills the whole time, and you're swimming up. You know how you put your dick up, like you know in your swimming suit. You don't have to be hard, but you just like put it up. It looks at you, and then when you swim, you just keep filling the hole straight in the hole with water, and then all the fucking like the penis fish in the Amazon just go straight there. All these Jews coming back with the fucking penis fish in their fucking bellies.
Yeah, totally relatable.
By the way, I was swimming in the Amazon in the March, and they totally told me. Like I was like, is this any dangerous fish or something? Because it's like we were fishing for piranha in the same spot, and then the next day we go swim there. And I go, are you sure about this? And they go, no, the piranha. When I was in Peru, and the guys were like, "Don't worry about the piranha. There's worse things. Like try not to pee in the water when you're swimming." So yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but okay, that was in the camp, the retirement camp.
Yeah, that's in the camp.
Wait, okay.
Well, it was close to the river, so we would go swimming.
God damn it! Kinds of fun. I should go there this summer, this spring even.
Yeah. By the way, Pavka, you tell me, what's your position as a very smart and educated man? What do you think about psychedelics and what's your position?
He's away on him.
What's the Middle East position? Oh, okay, he's away.
He's away for seconds.
Well, fuck him then.
No, but
anyways,
actually he was kind of in, but my mushroom harvest
the last batch
failed.
Right. Yeah.
I should create a new one.
So he went to pee or something?
Yeah.
I really gotta learn this song now. It really brought back good memories. Sunny, thank you for the sunshine bouquet. Sunny, thank you for the love you brought my way. Why am I just mixing up these chords? This is not wrong. This ultimate guitar thing really sucks sometimes. Whoever writes these chords is like, you gave me your...
look at them. Huh? That's...
Yeah. I mean, sometimes
they're usually correct. I don't know, and it's a famous song. It should be correct. Maybe you're playing them wrong.
This time it's wrong. I swear.
You're wrong.
Anyhow, but it's a great Arab song.
The same question.
So no, it doesn't matter. But the point is, let's get this back on track. Where we were talking about what about the Islamic State?
Not yet, but
not yet. I'm really impatient for those fuckers.
Oh yeah, they're coming up. But it's all related and it's all leading to here, so it makes sense. Then you had Syria, and Assad, who was the dictator in the regime, did not resign after the protests. So the whole protesting led to a civil war, which was is currently still raging on. This is the Syria civil war. And now, if you remember from Iraq, after the fall of Saddam, you would have these Al Qaeda splinter groups, let's call it.
Yeah.
That were
I remember them from the ad.
Really, really seasoned fighters.
Remember? If you're just a bored terrorist and you don't know what to do. Yeah, I just remember this ad, so that's why.
Yeah, sometimes ads they repeat because they've paid for.
Yeah. I just stopped it, but it started repeat. Yeah, you know how it is.
Now they want their money back. Anyway.
So in Iraq after the war, these Al Qaeda splinter groups, and you're saying similar things happened in after the civil war in Syria.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's the difference, and where does?
Not similar really, because you would have these seasoned veteran fighters from Iraq going to Syria to participate in this war.
Because when you're seasoned, you gotta participate in as much as you want, as much as you can. That's what's seasoned.
Yeah, it's the country next to you, so why not? I mean, they're having a war.
It's a nice.
And this is the beginning of the Islamic State rising to power, having this
And this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is very interesting because before that, in all our conversation, we didn't mention Syria at all. They were doing okay, right? Before that, up leading to the Arab Spring, they were actually, I think they were doing pretty fine, and like even culture and everything. There was I know that some people went there like for vacations. It was a thing. You could go to Syria and see all these temples and everything before all of that happened, and now it's suddenly changed completely. Or am I not correct?
Imagine you being the last tourist there. You're like, oh my god, the temple. Then boom.
Yeah, imagine something's been there for thousands of gazillions of years, and you're the last one, and then some fucking some idiot fucking ruins it for a video, for some fucking Facebook video.
That's like really horrible. Well, I would say that it was definitely more peaceful. But you know, you would still have like minority groups that were fighting for their rights, but having a strong regime would not let them have like any social freedoms, like. So I wouldn't say it was. Well, definitely it was better because it was not at war,
right?
Which it is now. And again, you know, you can see this scenario with the power vacuum in the Middle East just happening, and all of the countries that I mentioned earlier, like, you know, Turkey have this problem with the Kurds, that they have a Kurdish party which is illegal in Turkey, and they're like doing like.
So this is like a pattern. It keeps repeating itself. You got the Kurds, you got then the Al Qaeda, then you got the ISIS.
And this is all related to the First World War and the decision to split the nation states the way they're divided today. You know, kind of.
And by the way, where do you get all this information from? What do you fucking read? The Middle East Times? Where do you get this from?
AlJazeera.com. But no.
If you want to get educated and know more about the region, know all about our fucking cutting our dicks off and just fucking each other up in their asses and all kinds of word, and how to be a really seasoned warrior, go to Al Jazeera and watch that shit. It's great shit. We'll teach you how to be seasoned. All kinds of seasoning with putting oil and all kinds of stuff. You can be seasoned in all kinds of ways. All right, just Al Jazeera. All right, cool. Anyway, so we're going back. So now we have ISIS, but this is the thing. There was a difference this time, right? In the sense that there was a bigger involvement. I mean, this is what I with my very limited knowledge, with the states arming ISIS. What was that deal with like Hillary giving them guns and all that shit?
It's actually not ISIS. It's another like splinter groups. For example,
okay, so what was the involvement? What actually happened, and how is America to be blamed, or are they at all to be blamed for this?
Well, they're to be blamed. Again, you know, part of ISIS was okay. So let me get back up a bit. You would have like you would have the Iraqi military.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't be great because after the fall of Saddam, you would just have like people being militarized or like weaponized and acting as a military.
Like RoboCop, people being militarized.
Yeah, kind
like,
of like RoboCop.
Yeah.
But
Arab
a lot
RoboCops.
of them, basically the army was funded by the states, I believe, kind of. So you would have.
That's after Saddam.
Yeah, after Saddam. It makes sense because they wanted to establish a new state in the region that was like to be democratic, you know, and all that shit. But you would give it to people that are inexperienced, and some of them are Sunni, and then you would have the Islamic State who are like experienced, again seasoned fighters. Who would just take this shit, because the regular army was unwilling to fight. They didn't have a reason to die. Why would they die? I mean, they didn't recognize, you know, the whole nation as the. It's really hard when you have a civil war, and you cannot like put it to the nationality prism, because it's basically different parts of the nation fighting over different ideas. So you would have these people who are not willing to fight, and they would just like surrender. And, and then you would have some that are Sunni, and they would be military, but they would be willing to join the Islamic State as well.
And so it wasn't like as straightforward as I thought. It was. It's more complicated than that. Okay.
And also it was. Then in Syria you would have the moderate fighters, which are not all moderate. But for example, Front al-Nusra, which was the new Al-Qaeda, basically. I think that actually they were former Al-Qaeda as well. And you would have the US and also indirectly Bulgaria, for example. I don't have any proof of this, but it's what.
In what sense? What was our involvement?
Supporting them with weapons, but indirectly.
Wow.
We would be sending weapons to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates and also Qatar, I believe. But the issue is these nations use, we're in Bulgaria. We are producing Soviet era weapons.
Weapons,
like, AK-47, stuff like that. While the Saudis...
for the first time, I swear to God, for the first time, I feel proud of being Bulgarian. For the first time, we produced something that people fucking use around the world to kill each other. This is great. And by the way, when you say Sunni, just wanted to clarify, is this at all related to Sunni Leone? She was a porn star, now is working in Bollywood movies.
I don't think so. I think they would disapprove of her work.
Just wanted to double check. Anyway.
Her works. Yeah.
So we were involved. Okay, so there were all kinds of people from all kinds of parts of the world selling weapons to different people.
I was saying that we're actually not selling to the people in Syria, but we would be selling them, for example, to Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia would be opposing the Syrian government. So it's.
By the way, do you know where you do those weapons? Because I want to apply. I want to like maybe work in the factory, like help them out with the.
My parents.
His mom and his dad.
His parents,
I can get your recommendation, but
they're selling all the weapons of Bulgaria.
But you must have a middle-age crisis first, like me, to decide to descend into the.
To join them, to join the ranks.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what led to the current situation, and what's next? Like what's happening now? Like the latest stuff.
The latest, well, the Islamic State is mostly like beaten by everyone, because it's like not
fuck these
not
losers.
Serious. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck these cunts. Fuck them. Fuck you cunts listening. I know you listening, you fucking cunts. You buying our weapons, our Bulgarian weapons that Stefcho's parents give you. And you think you can fucking kill people? Fuck you. Fuck you, ISIS.
I just wanted to clarify, because I don't want to sound like an asshole to any country.
To ISIS.
Yeah, to ISIS, of course. Well, it's a state. It's in the name, so it's a state. Islamic State. Also.
Makes sense, And Howard Stern calls himself the king of all media, so you don't want to offend the media either.
North Korea, it's like the Democratic Republic of North Korea. The Democratic People Republic. So democratic means democratic, republic means a democracy, and peoples means a democracy. So it's basically
it's very good to get your words right.
Korea. Yeah, so they must be democratic. They have it 3 times in their name.
Must be, It's only logical.
So it makes sense. Anyway, I just wanted to say that most likely the Saudis are not, and like the UAE are not using the weapons that they buy from fucking Bulgaria from themselves, and they're supplying them to someone else, most likely in Syria. Because they're using like NATO and American grade weapons. They're not using Soviet era
fucking Bulgarian ass, fuck ass, fucking bitch ass old weapons. Use the best of the shit.
It's really crappy. It's really crappy, inexpensive weapons. It's the cheap shit.
God damn it! First you brought me up and you gave me some hopes, and then you brought me down, and then you ruined my day with knowing that we provide the crappiest of weapons again. So really, Bulgaria is all about this. Let me tell you, Bactericus bulgaricus, Voltopia, and everything else is crappy, pretty much, right? I mean,
Voltopia is not crappy.
Voltopia, I mean, it's a leader in the world in one thing. It's making
what about
walls for climbing.
Man, the Hollywood CGI effects, man. Avatar
Who?
and all the Hollywood movies, they use a Bulgarian.
Fuck that shit.
No,
Fuck these
Bulgarian
losers.
renderer.
I know them. Fuck them. This is not. They got nothing, man. I mean, this is like okay, but this is like what I said. Like it's as if I say we put the weapons in ISIS hands. It's like a small contribution. It's nothing more, you know. Fuck them. But especially because
it's not just contribution. They're the best. Everyone uses them. They're
let's pick it up some other time because I got
No,
anyway,
I know. Anyway.
You work there?
I've worked there.
Now?
No.
Oh, you've worked there in the past.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying, because I know other people that work there. So, and I know they suck. So, and it's not just because of the swing. It's also many other reasons. But the point is, this was a very good thing. And I just want one more question I have. And this is what's happening now. What's next? Like, how do we finally bring this all together, create the Ottoman Empire again, because I think this is the solution. Put the skins on the dicks back, so let them grow, remove the Sunni, sing a couple of songs, and call it a day, and call the seasoned guys off so they can become veterans, and everything will be fine.
I don't think we can. I mean, we can try with like sewing or sticking the dick skin back, but all the other shit is going to fall apart. Mostly.
And I think this is a really good, philosophical point. The idea that once you cut off part of your dick, listen up, guys. Some things never grow back, such as cut off tip of your dick, cut off your head, stuff like that. Try it, you'll see, it doesn't grow back. So, point is, never cut down a fucking Ottoman Empire again. You understand that? It's a shitty empire. It raped people and fucked them up real bad, but don't cut it up because it gets worse, alright? Now go to ottomanempire.com/let's bring it back. And let's make a vote. And let's put those stitches back together and remove all those lines on the map. And let's get all of these weird ass, different ass people together and make one nation. One happy nation of Arabs. And call them just Sunni. Let's just keep the Sunni because it's a nice name. It's just a theme. And that's it, guys.
I just remember this. There was this joke, like in Bulgaria, in the Rhodope mountain, they had calamari.
And remember to use promo code Sunni. So yeah, I'm sorry. They had calamari in Rhodopas. They had calamari.
Yeah, and one guy was like, "What the fuck? It's a mountain. What's this calamari from the mountain?" But I mean, yeah, the prehistory is that there are a lot of like gypsies there. I mean, Turkish people.
And what was the fucking
Islamic people, whatever.
relation to our conversation?
Yeah, it's Muslims. And I mean, the guy was like, "What the fuck? What's up with the calamari?" And the answer was like, "Well, the rabbi brings them every Sunday." But anyway, rabbi, whatever.
It's not a rabbi. It's like
the person that cuts the dicks off. I don't know what it's called.
That sucks them. That's the more important part. The kisses the dicks off.
I think it's the imam.
Imam.
Yeah,
and the point is that it's not calamari, it's something else. Anyway.
Yeah, it's
listen, Pavka, do we...
I just want to say something.
Yes.
Some time ago, I was working at the zoo.
Yeah.
And I was like...
what was the name of the company?
No, it was a zoo.
Oh, okay. Well, wanted to check.
It's zoo, yeah.
Is it Zoo Ltd or Zoo Co or yeah?
No, it's just the local zoo.
Okay.
No, like zoo with animals and shit.
Yeah. Because I mean, I worked in Telerik and I gotta tell you, there's some fucking there.
No,
there's
why
like
does it always have to be about you? Let the guy.
I've never seen animals fuck like this. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes. So I wanted to say that I was there circumcisioning elephants.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
No. Just hear me out. Basically, the pay was shit, but the tips were great.
What? Can you repeat this? Sorry, because I lost you when you said, can you hear me out?
The paying was shit, but the tips were great.
Ah! All right. Okay, but the now I got it. The second time I got it. But the point is, it's probably. No, it's a probably. It works.
I work really close to the zoo, like 50 meters. But anyway.
But the thing is, it's like probably a cheap source of leather, of like elephant leather. Instead of killing the whole elephant, just cut their dicks off.
I don't think they're cutting the elephant's dick skin, so.
No, but you know the elephant has a fucking big ass fucking dick, so you can cut. You can actually do this. It's a good idea, actually. You know. Got me into thinking. Got my. I switched on my business mode. My entrepreneurial spirit got heated up.
The jokes are great today. They always work. Anyway.
So listen, Pavka, did we miss something? Is there something really cool that you want to tell us and we didn't ask in this just really interesting adventure through space and time?
The thing is,
in the Middle East?
Should I sell my apartment? Is it going to be bombed soon?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, well, the one thing that we didn't mention was the war in Yemen. No,
yeah.
Like, Yemen.
And of course, you can never finish a good story without the war in Yemen.
Yeah, you should have said yeah, man. But anyway.
All right, sorry, I missed that. And you gave it to me on a platter, and I missed it, like the fucking tip of the dick.
I feel ashamed for you, but
yeah, me too.
It's like a second-hand cringe. But anyway, so you would have this war that is between the Houthi. And
these guys, the first time I ever heard of them.
Yeah.
Is it like a new thing, like after Disney bought LucasArts and they came up with a new type of Jedis?
Well, I guess they become famous afterwards. But it's a really atrocious war, actually.
Because the Sunni are cool, but the Houthi, what the fuck is wrong with them?
Well, the Houthi are actually Shia, I believe. And
that explains things.
And you would have them fighting against the Yemeni government. And basically Saudi Arabia would be supporting the government forces and Iran would supporting the Houthi forces. And this is basically like a Cold War within the Middle East, and that's what's really interesting. You would have the two biggest countries in the region, supporting a civil war. And it's kind of scary because you don't see an end to it, and you don't know what's going to be next. For example,
when was that?
It's still going on.
It's still going on.
Yeah,
okay.
It's still going on, and it's like really bad. If you're interested, you can check it out. It's really bad.
I'll check it out for sure.
The media is not talking about it. I don't know why, but it's bad. So. I'm actually quite pessimistic about the region, but we'll have to see. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's there's a lot of stuff, man, and I don't know. I feel really like there's a lot of homework I need to do and stay informed and stuff, but that's why I'm happy that you were here and you were the first guest on the show. And we were able to learn stuff. I mean, of course, I'm sure I'll forget all of that, but once I hit the joint in a couple of minutes. But the point is, it was very nice. And listen, man, so what do you think so far about, me and Stefcho? Like, what do you think, like, knowing, like, using all of your knowledge from observing races and how they interact with each other for millions of gazillions of years, how do you think what will happen with us? Like if you have to use comparisons to the Middle East in our situation, the conflict between Bogi and Stefcho, how is this gonna play out?
I don't know. I'm really hoping there would be some dick skin cutting off between you two.
Yeah, for sure. But, I think first of all, I'll do anything for views and for listens, and so eventually the dick skin will go off for sure. I would fucking lose any pretext and be like, let's fucking cut it this time. And yeah, Stefcho, what do you have to say? I hear you walking around, fucking going shitting, pissing. I don't know what the fuck you do. He's back. What the fuck are you doing, man? Where are you walking around? Why are you walking around like a lunatic?
Just taking a stroll.
He's actually drinking.
You're practicing.
Yeah.
She's drinking coke and not sniffing it like a normal person.
She's practicing swing moves in the fucking corridor, practicing swing moves. Anyway, yeah. It's just like the coke makes my swing moves better because the sugar inside it, my muscles work better. Anyway, so listen, Pavka, this was very interesting to me, and I hope that just because I pretended like I'm not interested, you didn't actually believe that I'm not interested, because I'm actually really interested.
No, actually, when I wasn't talking about that, you sounded not interesting, so I can tell it.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, there's so many things that we can learn from people, and we should never judge them just by the size of their beard and just by what instrument they play. And so you can always.
I also play guitar, so.
And is this by the way how you got into this like beard thing because of the Middle East? You decided let's grow a beard now because I'm an expert and I know.
Yeah, just to clarify for the for people that are listening that I'm not an expert, and no, it was actually I like the aesthetics, because otherwise I would look like a baby face or something like that, and
yeah.
I know you know
I like this. I like that. I like the way you said it. I like the aesthetics.
You know what's the best beard story I've heard? I mean, it's a friend. How he got his beard. He was like, he didn't have a beard. He was walking around, like on the sidewalk.
For a beard?
No,
yeah, looking around for a beard.
He was just, stop interrupting me. He was just walking on the sidewalk, and next second he wakes up in the hospital. And he's been in a coma because he got hit by a car. And he looks.
Yeah, I watched that movie too. It's called 28 Days Later.
And he looks in
and
the
it's
mirror.
Also the beginning of Walking Dead.
Okay, are you finished? So he looks in the mirror and he was like, "What the fuck is? I have a beard and it looks awesome." So he has a beard since then.
Wow.
I just want to say that it's a really great perk. Like, if you can smell your beard, and mine, I mean, it smells really nice. So that's like really good. You have like this whole shit under your face smelling good. So that's a benefit.
Yeah. And that's that too. But it's for me it's a weird thing. I shaved recently for a Halloween costume, but before that I had a beard. Like I've had like a 4mm beard, like a gay beard for a long time, and then I had mustache for a while. When I went to Japan, I put a mustache on. I was pretty proud of that, and just so I wanted to weird myself extra for Japan, just to match the weirdness. To not stick out of the crowd, and it's pretty cool, guys. Listen up. I mean, we've talked a lot. We can talk forever, but we gotta respect the fact that my neighbors are calling the cops now. So, and we gotta see what's gonna happen. You know, later. I don't want to say anything. But I think Pavko will invite you for sure some other time, if not for an episode, then for a funeral. But we'll invite you for sure, and you will be one of the Hall of Famers. You'll be the first ever guest who survived this. And I just wish you all the best, man.
I will keep my hit of the week for next week.
It's a great honor.
I was keeping it whole week, but I'll have to keep it for next one.
Man, this was a great conversation. I feel great, and even though I feel very tired, but that's because my brain has a certain capacity. And once I talk to two intelligent people, I just feel stupid. And
wait! Did you say something nice about me? That's the first.
He was talking to himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, including myself and Pavkata in this. Just like two people, me and him. But
yeah, I thought something was wrong with my perception.
All right, guys. Well, listen up. Thanks a lot for this. It was great. And let's stay in touch. And Pavka, we're going to give you some money so you can share this to your friends too. And this is going to work for everyone. But of course, by everyone, I mean just me and Stefcho. Yeah. So, thanks a lot, guys. And stick around and subscribe and keep writing comments. Tell us what you think about this. And yeah.
Yeah, and also, do you want us to continue the nipple talk, or have we had enough?
Like the dick skin talk.
Oh yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah, Pavka, any final words? What do you want to say before you go forever?
Okay.
Okay, that was like a bit extreme.
Yeah,
you
Stefcho's
just said
gonna.
the opposite. You were like, he will be back.
No, but I lied before, but now I told the truth because Stefcho.
Actually, I want to say that me and Stefcho, we are having a gig next Thursday in Pernik.
Oh, right.
So for all of our listeners in Pernik, if you like acoustic music, you can also go fuck yourselves, but you can also visit. It's your decision. And I don't know the name of the place.
Rock and Roll Cafe or something.
Yeah, but you'll find it out.
It's the rock bar in Pernik.
The less people out there, the better. But I feel obliged to say it. So yeah, that's pretty.
That was a shameless plug, but.
And you can hear all kinds of songs, including "Sunny." Yesterday, my life was filled with rain, and all kinds of other hits by the nameless band of Stefcho and Pavkta, and who else?
Borko.
And Borko, and who else?
Jew. That's it.
And who else?
That's our next guest. That's all my friends.
It's pretty anticlimactic. Okay, and what was the date?
15.
The 15th.
The 15th. All right, the 15th. Guys, remember, Pernik, even if you don't know the place, just walk.
Do you hear the guitar?
I hear it.
Oh, you know it's your guitar, actually.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Why didn't you give it to me?
Fuck?
Okay, so... okay, next week, 15th, Pernik. If you don't know the name of the place, just walk around. There's only 2. So you can find it. And then and then you'll see a couple of guys there. It's gonna be Stefcho, it's gonna be Pavkta, it's gonna be Borko, it's gonna be the other guy. What was his name? Jew?
Yeah.
Jew.
Yeah.
What kind of name is this? Even Sunni is better than this. What kind of name is Jew? Anyhow, so yeah, guys, if you're fans of weird names and bands with no names, go listen to this and thanks a lot, guys. I wish you luck and tell me how it went. Tell me what kind of crowd you brought in. Were they all happy?